3, 2, 1. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just received additional court records in the La Guarita 70 timeline that has me even more confused, with a mystery ex-boyfriend popping up under a request for protective order in 2008. This is crazy because it throws another Kirk in her timeline and all the interviews that she's given with her marriage to Fidel. And we're just going to chronologically go down the history of this series and pop in the new receipts. For those of you that have been following, welcome to my live stream. I am going to break down this report with you guys. Yes, we're back. For those of you that are enjoying this series, thank you so much for supporting. As always, I'm going to pin in the chat a link to become a member or to send in a tip with feedback for some live TTS and alerts. Hello, besties. Welcome back. Become a baddie. All right. I'm going to do my best to go down this timeline quickly so we can jump right into the new receipts. If you are a baddies tier, you already have access to some of the context on the wall. Hopefully you've had some time to review. And for those of you that haven't, don't worry, I'm going to read them along with you. But first, we need to recap this timeline because, wow. wow. All I will tell you as a spoiler is that I was right. All of my speculations and assumptions thus far have been right. So first, let me take you back to the beginning of this story that Candice has narrated to us. So she has always told a certain love story cross-border narration that she met Fidel in 2007 when she was freshly 18. They fell in love and they've been together ever since. Through this series, we've uncovered a previous divorce, so we've uncovered some paternity questions, and I just got records that there is another relationship right in the middle of her timeline. So I'm not going to re-pull up all the receipts, okay? They've been featured on a lot of my other videos. Hopefully you're up to date. At this point, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I'm quickly gonna go through the receipts and the dates that we have so that you can follow along with the new receipts, okay? So once upon a time, we've been able to establish court records that Candice married Brian Ferguson in June of 2007. Was it 7? June 2007. She was barely 18, had just turned 18 6 months prior. She, in her divorce petition that she filed many years later, alleges that she divorced from, or she separated from her first husband just 4 months later after she got married. So she claims to have separated in October of 2007. She then tells a story that she meets Fidel in November of 2007, right? And then they have a child in 2009. There's a lot of stuff that happens, but eventually she files for divorce from Ferguson in 2012, and she lives happily ever after with Fidel. And we know that the rest of the story is a lot of other stuff, okay? But I just want to give you that timeline because at first there was some confusion, like, well, when did you marry Ferguson if you've been with Fidel since 2007? So I guess we could have given her some grace, and I thought, okay, well, she separated from her legal husband in October 2007, and she met Fidel a month later. Okay, she just moved on fast. Well, that don't make no fucking sense because there is a Carlos Ortiz that also fits into the timeline in 2008, right? So when I did a search for Candice's records, civil, criminal, I came across a protective order case that she filed against a Carlos Ortiz in 2008. Now, for those of you that have been following along, I speculated that this was an ex-boyfriend because typically, who else do women typically get protective orders on is ex-boyfriend. So let me give you a rundown of this case before I read you the context and who Carlos Ortiz is, okay? If you're in here, get us ready for some receipts. The tip line is pinned in the chat. Super chats. Thank you so much for supporting all the research, all these receipts. I hope you guys have enjoyed digging into all these files. I've been trying to get a hold of this particular file for a few weeks because I was really curious to the content of this protective order, because I wanted to compare this case with Fidel's case with the DV. Okay. If you've already read the police report, please don't give it away, or I will never show you guys previews on the baddies tier. Okay, there's people that haven't seen it. I will mute you or remove you from the live if you're giving it away. Please let us get there as a group, because there's people that haven't seen the report. Okay, so this protective order was filed in February of 2008. Now, that always confused me because she claims to have met Fidel in November of 2007. So why would she be filing for protective order in 2008? She filed this protective order in 2008, and it was granted to her on a temporary basis. Okay, she was not able to serve Mr. Ortiz, and eventually this protective order was dismissed. And there was no other cases with her and Carlos Ortiz. So I speculated based on what I saw that this was an ex-boyfriend, and maybe she got back together with him, because it's very common for these things to happen where we'll break up, we file for a PO, and then we just don't follow up because we get back with them. Because if you're really scared for your safety, why would you not see this through? She wasn't able to, she didn't process service, and she never showed up to the last hearing. So she just let this case kind of die down. So in my opinion, if I am a victim of DV, if I'm actually scared for my safety, I'm going to make sure that protective order is in place, even if I'm not talking to him anymore, even if I never hear from him again, especially once you see the contents of this, okay? So she filed for this protective order, didn't follow up and serve him, and then she just didn't show up again. So the case was dismissed, all right? I'm going to read you the contents of this case. And at first, I wasn't sure if it was her. I wasn't sure. It's her. It's her because it's her handwriting. It's her handwriting. We have seen various documents by now. I know what her signature looks like. I can 100% confirm this is her. I did redact some information just for her privacy and for Carlos's privacy and her address and identifying information, but I can concrete that this is Candy Face, okay? She lived in the same area where she lived with Fidel, okay? She always stayed around the east side in Salt Lake. So Carlos Ortiz was born in 1985. Okay, so how old was he? Let's do some math first. Let's get to know Carlos, okay? Let us get to know Carlos first. And really quick. Okay, let's see here. So in 2008, Candice was, what, 19? And Carlos was, how old was he? He was 23. He was her age for once. I think this has been the only person she dated. And she does list him as an ex-boyfriend. So I had speculated this was an ex-boyfriend. I was right. Okay. So he was about 23. Sorry, I need to see my chat over here. 23 years old, and she was around 19. So this has been the only relationship that we've seen that he's kind of around the same age as her, okay? So she does list the relationship to him as an ex-boyfriend. Now, mind you, this is crazy because she claimed she was with Ferguson for 4 months from June 2007 to October 2007. Then claims to have met Fidel in November of 2007. So that only leaves a small window of a month that she could have been with Carlos. But before, she lists that she lived with him. Spoiler alert. Okay, so she lists him as an ex-boyfriend. She tells the court where they can find him, and she describes him over here. He's 120 pounds, 5'4", brown eyes, black hair. She lists his race as Hispanic. Distinguishing features, really long hair and usually in a bun. Always wears black. One thing about Candice, she had a type. Okay, she liked Mexican boys. All right, she lists where they could find him. Park Place Apartments, and she lists that as friend's house between 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. So it looks like she didn't have an address for him and that he was living with his friends. This would lead me to believe that they had recently split up because she does state in this document that they lived together. So it looks like he was living with friends or something. Okay. All right. So this is where she starts describing what's happened. Has the respondent used weapons or been violent in the past? The respondent is Ortiz. She says, he has broken my cell phone, punched a hole in my wall, and threatened to call his big friends. Is the respondent on probation or parole? Yes. She listed his pretrial case manager. Now we're going to have to go search for this Carlos Ortiz. I want to pull his record now. So she says he was on probation. Number 3, it says, what is your relationship to the respondent? And she checked option D that says, we used to live together as a couple. Bitch, when? So she just told the court Carlos Ortiz is her ex-boyfriend and they used to live together. So they would have had to have had some type of longevity. When did you live with Carlos if you were married to Ferguson for 4 months and you met Fidel a month later? When the fuck did you live with Carlos? Can you see like why this timeline is so messy, or are you lying? Bitch, when did you live with him?
Hard work during this case, ha ha ha.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes. This is crazy. Okay, let's keep going. When did the event happen? She lists January 11th of 2008 is when the event happened that she's needing help from. Okay. But she said she met January 11th of 08, but she started dating Fidel in November of 2007. How do we know this? Please hold, because she told the federal judge in his character letters that she met Fidel in November of 2007. Okay, let me pull it up. Because I do think these receipts are necessary. Okay, in her character letter, sorry, 2 seconds. Where are the court files character letters? Oh my God, come on. Okay, here it is. In a letter she wrote to a federal judge, which was filed in November of 2016, she tells the judge that she met Fidel exactly 8 years ago today. I met Fidel. 8 years. Okay, so November 2008 is when she lists meeting Fidel. Okay, but she did tell the news reporters that she met him in November of 2007. So there are some discrepancies. She told the judge she met him in 2008. But in her interviews, which you guys can go look up, I'm not going to pull them up, she always says they met in 2007. So did you meet him in 2007, 2008? We don't fucking know. Okay, but she says this event with Carlos occurred on January 11, 2008. She lists the address. Did the police come? She says no. She didn't report this to the police. So this is where she describes what happened. He has been calling my cell phone nonstop since Friday the 8th. He has also been watching my apartment. I was walking home and he stopped me. He told me I owed him money, that he was going to off himself, and that he was going to send people to take care of me, and also he threatened to contact my family. I pushed past him and ran to my apartment and locked myself in. My landlord has been walking me to and from my apartment since then. He sat outside my building all night and continuously called my phone. So it doesn't sound like this is an ex-boyfriend that's jealous. It sounds like he's after something, claiming she owes him money. So this is not coming off to me as like a DV, this is coming off to me as something happened and he thought she owed him money and he was trying to collect that money. Describe the most recent abuse. Okay, that's what she talks about, where she ran into him outside of her apartment and he said he owed her money and that I guess she threatened him. Okay. What did the other, click here if you need more space. What did the other person do or say to make you afraid? Threatened to send his friends after me, contact my family, and off himself. Were any children present? No. Who else was there? No one. Was anyone hurt? No. Other facts, I believe due to previous events that he was under the influence of cocaine and alcohol. So she had knowledge that he was using. Okay. When did it happen? Right after New Year's. Oh, this is, did the police come? Yes. Oh, I see a new GRAMA request. Describe past abuse. So this is another incident. What was the police department? Salt Lake City. Was anyone arrested? Yes. What is the case number? Unknown. Describe the past abuse. He became upset over my ex-husband contacting me. He broke my cell phone, punched a hole in my wall, and tried to break down my door. He also tried to OD on cocaine. We're going to pull that police report. New GRAMA request incoming! Huh. I wonder if they filed charges. Do you see a pattern? Is what I want to ask you guys. Just asking a question. Do you see anything in this report that reminds you of the other report? Come in. Thank you, my love. All right. Other court cases. So she lists, are you or the respondent on probation for DV? She says no. Have you or the respondent ever been involved in other court cases involving you or your children? She said yes. He had a criminal case that was pending at the time. She didn't know what it was for. All right. I'm asking the judge to order the respondent to go to a court hearing, issue a temporary protective order, stay away, no contact, stay away. She lists her vehicle, job, and home. She was working at Dick's Sporting Goods at the time. She was driving a 91 Honda Prelude. I wonder if that was the same Honda that Fidel and Anthony had the issue over. And then she asked the court to order him not to contact her family directly. Okay, how you guys feeling about this report? How do we feel? Let's take a pause. I just got my refresher. All right, how are y'all feeling about this report? I am going to, now we need to search up Carlos. So now we know who Carlos is. We know he has a record and we know his date of birth. Do you guys want to look him up? Who wants to sponsor a Carlos search for $10? It's $10 to get into the Utah court system if we want to look up his background. So sounds like the only man she never had to call the cops on was Mr. Ferguson, huh? Definitely has a type. Sounds like she's being super rebellious, right? She's dating boys on probation. She's dating bad boys. And then, yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about this? What are her thoughts on this report? I wonder why he said she owed her money. So she claims there was a previous incident where he was arrested. I'm like, who's the pappy? Is he from the complex? Well, she claims they live together. She claimed they lived together. You're right. How long were they together? So if we pull the other police report, we could see how long they were together for. It seems like there's extensive history. She doesn't list a date for the previous abuse. Well, she says right after New Year's. Okay, so she lists 2 incidents. The first one she said is right after New Year's. And the second one is on January 11th. And they were fighting over jealousy. The ex-husband contacting her, which Forgery. And mind you, it was still her husband. It was still her husband. But it makes me wonder, which husband is she talking about? Thank you, Mrs. Reyes. Thank you for supporting my story, Bessie. Thank you so much. Okay, because she has reference to Fidel as her ex-husband. We know that she had a current husband at the time. She was married to Ferguson. He wasn't her ex-husband. So I wonder if, like, her entire life, she just lied to people and told them that she was already divorced. So look, Candice has, at least back then, Candice had more hoes than I did at the same time. Candice, how did you keep track of all these boys? How did you have time for this in the NBA? Girl, a lot, like, every relationship, she was having to call the cops. Okay, well, just 2. I guess let me not generalize. She was dating a certain type, men with substance issues, open cases. She was dating those dangerous hombres. What the fuck? And who the fuck is Anthony now? Now we need to know who Anthony is. Native Rain, thank you so much for gifting a membership. So it appears that both of these things that she reported, right, the DV and this, stemmed from another male being involved. Right, with Fidel, it was Anthony showed up, told me with my car, and Fidel went crazy. This one, he went crazy because my ex-husband contacted me. Candice, do you really got the cat like that? You mean like the kitty got him that crazy, or are you exaggerating these things? We need to hear from the crowd. Who is Carlos? Le gustaban los trucos tóxicos. So Carlos Ortiz, I'd have to look him up, guys. She has listed a date of birth 12/12/85. And she claims that he was on probation with an open case. So I don't think this is Fidel. Fidel had his own, I don't think this is Fidel at all. You guys want to look him up? Now, those were the dangerous ones you should be complaining about. I do see a pattern, though. I do see a little bit of a pattern. Are we shocked? They all wanted the visa. Alright, how many men did gonna at the same time, though? Okay, so now what do you think about this? Do you think she lied about when she met Fidel? Or do you think she was dating them all at the same time? Because in some stories, she tells people she met Fidel in 2007 when she was freshly 18. Clearly, but she was living with Carlos Ortiz. So how the fuck did you cheat on Carlos with Fidel? Was Fidel de Sancho with Carlos or with Fergie? We'll never know. At the same damn time? All right, we're gonna have to. We gotta look up Carlos Ortiz. All right, here we go. Brother husbands, do you think? A ver, he lived in Park Place Apartments. Where did she live? I blocked out her address of it. Ah, shit. Candice, just drop the fucking story time, Candice. We're so fucking confused. Just give us a 50-part series like Risa Tisa. Okay, look. She lived... Did she graduate from high school? I don't know. Okay, so she lived in the same apartment complex as him. Wait. Okay, so I redacted her address just so she wouldn't go crying. She lists her address as the same address where well, I guess they did live together. Okay, so this address that she listed on where to serve him at a friend's house, Building A, Park Place Apartments. That's the same address she listed for herself. Oh no, she listed 350 East 700 South, Building K. No, it's the same one. They lived in the same apartment complex except for she listed his service address as Building A and she listed herself living in Building K. Okay, so see, this is where she told the court they could find him. Building A. And I redacted her address, but I'm looking at it. She lived in the same complex, but in Building K. Wait a minute. Do you see where this is going? Fidel also lived in the same apartment as her. Candice, do you just like dating your neighbors? Was she picking up hoes in the complex? What the fuck? Candice! She listed his location for service in the same place, and she listed it's a friend's house, and that he could be found there between 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So that's where he was sleeping. That's where he was sleeping. Look. He didn't have a vehicle. She didn't list the vehicle. He was a bum. Always wearing his hair in a bun. Alright, someone find him on Facebook. Besties, activate. Search party. Search party activated. Find Carlos Ortiz. It's giving that's where she always met her boyfriends was the apartment complex. Oh, sorry. The apartment complexes. Should we look him up? Let's look him up real quick. Is something wrong with YouTube? Are we glitching? What's going on? I mean, my stream health says my stream is healthy. Okay. He was a bum with a bun. Alright guys, I'm trying to see. I'm logging into the Utah court system to see what I can find on Carlos Ortiz. Okay, so this tells me where she was living in 2008, but what if she was lying and she just met Fidel after this? I mean, giving her some grace, but... A bum with a bun. You guys, I just... Yeah... Alright, while I'm searching, if you want to call the tip line, leave a tip right here. Call a tip line. Alright, I don't think it's gonna... Alright, let me try my phone. Who the pappy? Okay, but wait, then this makes it even messier because... No, the baby was born in 09, so no, never mind. The baby was born in 09. I got 5 on it. Where's my alert? Where's my alert, bestie? Oh, bestie, I'm so sorry. Streamlab, where the fuck is my alerts? Oh, I'm sorry. I hate when it doesn't. I think it was a little laggy. It's giving... You think she was in love with the Coco? You know, I'm not going to make assumptions on that because I personally dated a lot of men that always had those bad habits and I never consumed them. Alright, I'm going to try to log into the court system. No, I don't think... Let's not assume she was consuming substances because I know I dated a lot of men that did a lot of crazy shit and I never once touched that shit. So it doesn't, just because he did it doesn't mean she did it, but it does mean that she was to a degree okay with it. Annie, I'm getting my lashes done with my AirPod, my ear. This tea is hot. Hotness. Okay, I'm logging into the court system. I gotta pay $10. Shout out to my bestie that had 5 on it, but really that was like 3 on it because I only get 70% of super chat. So if you send a tip in the tip line, I get to keep about 97% of the tips versus the super chats. I only get to keep about 70. But thank you to those of you that sent in for research fees. There's my alerts.
At Gabas 667 cent $1.99 cheese Maybox. Quacker activities.
Quacker activities. Hold on. I can't defeat a Candice. Alright, let me get my card. Ah, shit. Oh. Well, there went my study session, y'all.
At Rosie Bonell Monterez 9508 has purchased a membership.
Welcome, bestie. New name unlocked, Las Vueltitas 70. Bestie, I'm so sorry you didn't read out your TTS. It came in at the same time as the upgraded membership, so it crossed. A ver, do it one more time. A ver, do it one more time so it reads it out, bestie. A ver, otra vez.
At Jeanette sent $5
Oh, there
cheese
goes.
Maybox.
There goes, there goes, there
New
goes.
name unlocked. Los Suelta 70.
She says it funny. You guys, when you're writing in Spanish, spell it out. So you're gonna have to spell it wrong, but spell it out so she says it right, like the way that we did chisme, para que lo diga bien. Okay, 2 seconds. I am logging into the court website so I can do a search for Mr. Ortiz and find out who was the bad boy she was dating. Release the Ortiz files. See, if Candice would have never lied about meeting him in 2007, we wouldn't give a fuck about any of this. You see what I'm saying? The only reason why it matters is because it's so contradictory to her storyline. Like, how did you have all these boyfriends and husbands and Sanchos and baby daddies, but telling us a story that you met your husband at the age of 18 and had a baby and followed him across? You see what I'm saying?
At Nativera instant $5 cheese Maybox. Putting it down for the legal cheese May.
Thank you, bestie. Okay, Carlos Ortiz. Here it goes. Statewide search. Free the files. All right, I gotta put it in this mode. I had to do it over here because. All right, where's my search? No results found. First name Carlos Ortiz. All right, she said 12. Date of birth is 12. 12/12. Not her. Isn't that her kid's birthday? 12/12. Wait, isn't that her son's birthday? 12/12. Search. Alexander. Thank you, Bessie.
At Alexandra Gagnon sent $9.99 cheese Maybox. Release the Carlos files.
Release the baby. Okay, hold on. I gotta log in over here. My phone is acting funky.
Make it make sense.
Wait! Who said that? The GIF! Oh my gosh, that was so fun! That's the first GIF I've ever seen. Hey, how'd you do that? Somebody had said that you needed to be like a monthly something. That was our first GIF. That was so cool. Thank you so much, Bessie. Yeah, if you're using the tip line, it has all sorts of cool features. Alright, okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to pull up. I gotta pull up the. What the hell? Oh, the GIF didn't show up. No, it did. I saw the GIF. Did you guys see the GIF? I saw it. It did the thing. Yeah, it was a guy. Okay. Me fucked up. Okay. I just pay for guest access. Okay, I'm logging in. 492M6N7 QG. Sorry guys, bear with me. Okay, we are looking for the Carlos files. Bear with me. I'm just trying to log in really quick. I'm not being very quick about it, but it did make me intrigued about the police about. She says he was previously arrested. How do we corroborate this? Oh my internet's being hella slow. Okay. Oh, pues. Okay. Sorry guys, when you guys are watching me, me siento un poco nerviosa. I feel awkward because you guys are just sitting there waiting for me to give you tea. Okay. Oh, thank you for killing the dead silence.
At least Avanti2J has purchased a membership.
Welcome, bestie. Thank you so much for supporting my YouTube channel. You have exceeded the number of concurrent logins. Please go. Oh, sorry. This. I don't know if it's going to let me search while I'm here. Okay, we need to wait a little bit on the Carlos files. It's making me wait until I can log in again. All right, let me try one more time. If not, we're gonna have to wait. All right, let me check in with the chat. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of Carlos Ortiz, but I have his date of birth now. So previously, I didn't want to look him up because I was like, that's a very common name, but I have his date of birth. And I have a timeline. She tells me that around that time he had pending charges. So I have enough information to be able to narrow it down. Versus before, I didn't, which is why I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to try. That is a common name. Very common name. All right, let me try this one more time.
I look forward to the cheesemate keep bringing the good tea.
Oh my gosh, she tipped $50. Crazy, Erica. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, now I really gotta lock in. Now I gotta really lock in. Hold on. Let me refresh this. Let me pull up a new browser. New window. Now really gotta lock in. Erica, thank you so much. You're the MVP. Love me some tips. Call the tip line. A ver. No, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay again. I already paid. I have my login. If this doesn't work, we'll just need to wait like 10 minutes and then we'll come back and try again. B, B, C, 8, and then the CAPTCHA. Okay, we're gonna need to wait a few minutes on the court login. It says I've exceeded, and I have an open window somewhere because I try to log in on my phone. It also doesn't help that my shit is lagging. Yes. Apology. What is up with my internet? Okay, let me see if I can. Utah Exchange. I'm sorry you were deported. Candice is messing with my internet connection. Candice does not want the Carlos file to be released. Okay, I mean, regardless of what's in his files, like, yeah, unless the charges had something to do with her. Okay, it says we have to wait 30 minutes to log into the Carlos files. Okay, so let's circle back. I did pay the $10, but it didn't like that I tried to log on, that I was logged in on my phone and then try to log in on the computer because I got impatient on my phone. So we need to give it 30 minutes before we can pull the Carlos files again. In the meantime, let's continue. She's drawing a line with Carlos content. I mean, let's Google him. While we wait, let me see if I could just, what I could find for Google. Carlos Ortiz, Utah, 12/12/1985. An obituary? Hello? Wait, I don't know if this is him. What? Salt Lake City? This is not good. This is not good. Hold on. Hey, I don't... Wait. This obituary is from... He was born in 1985? Wait. This can't be him. This can't be him. There's no way this is him. No. Hold on. You guys, this is so dark. This took a... wait. Oh, no, this can't be him. This is not him. He passed away in 2004. Not him. A shooting victim at 18. Okay, yeah, there's stuff. Wait, there's a KSL article for Carlos Ortiz. On December 26th, Daisy Beltran told the police she got into a fight with Carlos Ortiz, 32, in their bedroom. Wait, hold on. Look at this. I might be jumping ahead, but look at this article. Am I still lagging? It says stream is healthy. I think we're back, yeah? Alright, where can I find out where? Oh, hold on. Okay, so look, I just found that one is too old. Okay. This was posted in 2013. If in 2013 they said he was how old? He was 32. He'd be born in 81. Okay, so that's not him. Wow. Okay, not him. There's another obituary from Carlos Ortiz in 2022. The one I found was born in 1975. So the date of birth we're looking for, that she lists on the protective order, is December 12, 1985. He was 5'4". He's a short homie. He was unemployed. He didn't have a car. He didn't have a house. He was literally a bum with a bun. The bum with a bun. But she knew his case manager. She knew he was on probation. I need to get into the court records ASAP. ASAP, Rocky. Some of the Candice receipts are members only, but not all of them. This will be public, don't worry. I did find it, kind of interesting verbiage that she used. Okay, as I'm picking apart this report right now that we've already read over. I found it very interesting verbiage when she said that he told her he threatened to call his big friends. Okay, why does that stick out to me? Because if this is actually a homie and he had actually threatened her, don't you think she would say exactly what he said to her? That doesn't sound like verbiage a big homie would use. I'm gonna call my big friends on you. You see what I'm saying? That sounds like Candice verbiage. Broke my phone, punched a hole in my wall, and threatened to call his big friends. I'm sorry, but that's very much LDS white girl verbiage. He's gonna call his big friends on me, right? If somebody had threatened you, wouldn't you say specifically what was said to you? Do you see where I'm going with this? That, I don't know, I just see some stuff here that que me llama la atención. That's white girl verbiage. He was gonna call his big friends. If you're trying to detail that this man threatened you, wouldn't you use, just like in the police report with Fidel, where she said, well, no, I guess he didn't. She didn't say anything that he said because she couldn't understand him. Also, do you think Carlos Ortiz spoke English? Maybe because she was a whore. Maybe because he was a short homie, so he said he was going to call the big homies. Oh my gosh. Okay, he's been calling my cell phone nonstop since Friday the 8th. Friday the 8th. He has also been watching my apartment. But mind you, he lived in the same complex. I was walking home and he stopped me. He told me I owed him money and that he was going to off himself and he was going to send people to take care of me. And he was going to send people to take care of me. I'm sorry, but that's also white girl verbiage. Threatened to contact my family and say what? Why would that be a threat to her for him to contact her family? Think about this. Was she having an affair? And why did she specifically ask the court to restrain him from contacting her family if he was just a crazy ex-boyfriend? My landlord has been walking me to and from the apartment. Could the landlord's name be Anthony by chance? Sorry, can't help but wonder. By any chance, was the landlord's name Anthony? Did it start with an A and end with a Y? He sat outside my building all night and continuously called my phone. I mean, I think it just has to do with perspective. Me personally, I would, some people call that obsession. I call it passion. Another alias? Do you think this would be an alias? No, because she said Fidel had a big badass red truck. She said this homie don't have a car. And she said this homie had long hair. We know Fidel never had no long hair. This is not Fidel. I used to be a chola. We don't use verbiage like that. Exactly. This is, I'm sorry, but this is white girl verbiage. This is Candice verbiage. And I feel like if somebody had actually threatened her, she would say, he told me he was going to go do this. Usually when you are telling somebody, when you're filing a police report or any type of shit like that, you say exactly what was said to you, no? This happened right after New Year's, and he became upset over my ex-husband contacting me. Now that's interesting. Why is Ferguson still contacting her in 2008 if, according to her, they separated just 4 months after she married him? What would he need to contact her for if they don't have any children together? Candice, you dirty birdie. I think there was a lot of ping ponging. I think in a way it's giving like she was a player. She was playing these men. And then I find it interesting where she says he tried to overdose on cocaine. How do you know? Were you there? Did you see him? All right, I want to pull up the criminal case he had pending. Are you or the respondent on probation for DV? She says no. Stay away order. We need a countdown clock for the court records. I need to get in there. Now I really need to get in there. Ring out the file. I wonder if maybe I changed. It's because I had my VPN blocker on. I think sometimes the website doesn't like my VPN blocker. Let me try this again. Sounds like she was busy. Mind you, there wouldn't be anything wrong if she was. I just want to clarify that, okay? There wouldn't be anything wrong if she was busy. The only reason that this like nos llama la atención is because what a crazy version of events in comparison to what she has sold the media about her story. Personally, for me, that's why all of this is like, wow, this is actually kind of crazy. Because of me. Or we might just have to leave the Ortiz files for another day. Do the same shit. You have exceeded the number of concurrent logins. I only tried twice. I probably just reset the clock, besties. I'm antsy. I need in. I use ExpressVPN. Makes me wonder how she is when she collabs. Okay, can we talk about that for a second? Because early on, before any of these files came out, and a lot of this was just speculations, I said, like, why do you think she only reaches out to the male creators? Mexican male creators, mind you. Is this all making sense? Like, I wasn't crazy when I said, like, when I was making jokey jokes about her and Carlos, am I? I wasn't crazy when I was saying there's a reason she's collabing with the husbands and not the wives. I wasn't crazy when I said, why is she venting to Rafa 2 weeks after knowing him and not her husband? I wasn't fucking crazy, and I wasn't being a hater, okay? She has a thing for Mexican men. And she has a track record of infidelity and emphasis on the Fidel. Emphasis on Fidel and infidelity. Alondra, baby girl. Hide your kids, hide your men. She's snatching up everybody out here. The surprise is that this Candice doesn't track with her clean, godly version that was Trap House Candice, and I ain't mad at it about who she... Yes. The reason why this has us so shocked is because it's not the behavior. Some of us have been much messier. It's the... Wow, she comes off as this goody two-shoes, like she's only been with her husband since she was 18, perfect little love story, and then we start like peeling back the layers, and there's so many men at the same damn time who the pappy, the husband, the Sancho, the ex-boyfriend, the protective order, the DV. God damn, girl. It's giving trap queen. It's giving trap queen. We could have been besties, Candice. Candy face. I don't know about this. Belinda, bestie, thank you so much. She just sent me a $10 Venmo for research and chisme. Thank you, bestie. Paid for Carlos to go visit her under the guise of a collab. Sorry. I don't think much has changed when it comes to this particular topic, okay? It makes... When were you living with Carlos when you were married to Ferguson and started dating Fidel? Like, crazy. I do think, okay, let me give her some grace. In her letter to the judge, she tells the judge that she met Fidel in November of 2008. I think that's the truth. She told the news reporters that she met him in November of 2007, and that was a lie because she wanted to make it seem like she had only been with Fidel. She wanted to sell this love story. There was a reason for her to lie to the news reporter. There wasn't a reason for her to lie to the judge with a discrepancy of just a year. See what I'm saying? So I do think, let me give her some grace. I do think she probably met Fidel. And mind you, all her family members said the same thing, that they met 8 years ago in 2008. And it would match up with her timeline that they got pregnant shortly after. So they met November 2008, and their child was born in December, almost a year later. Okay, so yeah, maybe Carlos, so she didn't cheat on Ferguson with Fidel, she cheated on Ferguson with Carlos? When did she start dating Carlos? You know where we're gonna get those answers? From the police report. She talks about here. She said the police came and somebody was arrested. He came over. My husband, he became upset because my husband reached out to me. He broke my cell phone, punched a hole in my wall, and tried to break down my door. That tells me he was probably charged with DV. If this is true, and she states he was arrested, he was charged with domestic violence, and perhaps that's the pending case that she has knowledge of up here. I think we just put it together. So up here, she has knowledge that he's on parole of some sort. And she also has knowledge that there's a pending criminal case. Right? Where did it go? Pending criminal case. Where is it? There was something here. Sorry, I gotta slow down. Can't hear you. Exit and come out. Right here. So she lists that he had a pending criminal case. Oh, and it involved a respondent. She doesn't say it involves her though. But I do think I'm onto something. I believe the pending case that she lists here that she would have knowledge of was the previous arrest that she talks about here, where he became upset over the ex-husband, broke her phone, punched a hole. I can tell you that if he punched a hole and she called the cops, that was domestic violence. That happened with me and Walter. They charged him for punching a hole in my wall. And she called the police and she says that he was arrested. I think that's the pending. So did she have a DV case with Carlos as well? And if she does, I'm seeing a pattern. Bestie, where are you? See if you can log in. I don't want to... Annalie, are you watching? All she had to do was stay all the way up with her. Now we all the way up with her. Yes. I'm getting impatient. I need to pull the Carlos files. Who can log into the Utah court website? I'm almost certain. That is what happened. The kitty was purring. The cat was catty. Another domestic violence. So chat, how do you feel so far? What are your observations on these reports? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? And I want just like factual, like what does this make you think about the timeline? And here's my question. why did she get why did she get the protective order so she's claiming that he went up to her, said he owed her money, but she didn't get a protective order on him when he got arrested? She talks about two instances of DV here. The one where he was arrested for breaking her phone, punching a wall, and trying to break down her door, but she didn't file for a protective order. She filed for a protective order when he found her on the street and said, "You owe me money. I'm going to send my big friends after you." Wouldn't you get a protective order when he tried to knock on your door? Something's not mathing to me. And what I'm trying, where I'm almost going with this, where I think I'm going with this, is that she uses the court system to her advantage when she's mad at them. And is it just me? Tell me if it's just me, but do you see it? Sometimes you have to verify your email. No, mine I think has to do with the VPN bullshit. I'm just going to be patient, but if somebody else can pull the files before me, send them to us. But that's what I'm starting to see as a pattern in this, because also it's almost like back to back. Well, I guess not. In both cases, she claims that there's multiple incidents of DV. She doesn't report all of them. She eventually reports one or two. Birthday is 12/12/85. My stream setting says it's healthy. Hey Lisa, I didn't like that comment. What county is it? Search all of Salt Lake District. If you're in there and you're searching, change your settings to search in district and justice, so it pulls up all cases for him. Paige, are you in? Are you searching? Can I ask why this matters? No. If you don't know why this matters, you haven't been following the series, then get out. It matters, okay? We're on a deep dive. Let me ask you why you're in here if it doesn't matter to you. Out. Out. Fuera. I closed my apps, see if it's gonna work now. I gave up my study session for this, okay? Don't insult me. We are too deep to be asked why it matters at this point. Go watch the last 12 videos, it'll explain it there. What happened the day after New Year's in the second incident? So she lists 2 incidents. And I think the first one she says was right after New Year's. But in the second one, she also says, he's been calling me since the 8th. Is anybody in yet? I don't want to try again. I feel like I'm just going to keep blocking it out. Came Laura both of us. She doesn't go here, sister. The first video is not members only. It's not the first video. 5 hits. Wait, did you find him? Are there mods for YouTube? Moi. We do, but I usually handle most of it. Or some of it. Is anybody in yet? To the court system? Yeah, we need a members chat. You're right. You're right. We don't have time to be explaining to trolls or people that haven't watched the series. If you're here, I'm assuming if you're here, you need to just catch up, baby girl. Yeah, there we go. I'm this close to paying for another $10 to let me in. The first login it gave me is locked out right now. And I didn't even get to use it. Is anybody else trying to log in? I'm so impatient. Catch up or get lost. Please don't waste our time. We're too deep. We do not have time to backtrack. We're in a group project. If you weren't here the first 7 classes, bye. No. Felicia! I need the foils! User name or password incorrect. Okay. Please work, please work, please work. Oh my God. I know for a fact my password's not incorrect. I'm literally copying and pasting. I feel like I'm gonna have to do a whole new $10 to just get in. The first login they sent me is not working. Release the bum with a bum files. Okay, let me try this again. I'm gonna. Here goes another $10. Let me try a brand new login. Type it out. Don't copy and paste. Okay, I'm gonna try that one more time. I just became a member. But it gave me no alert. Okay, let me try spelling it out. Just traffic, UI, and forgery. Okay, find second incident she shares 111. Okay, traffic, driving, DUI, and forgery. Are any of them around the date that were around 2011, around 2007 or 2008?
For our research costs, ha ha ha.
Thank you so much, bestie. Shout out to Mrs. Reyes for our $10 research fees. If you guys don't want to call the tip line, here is the tip link. FYI, I was 2 devices when not signed in and I got kicked out. The problem is because initially I was signed in on my phone and then I tried to sign in on the computer and then that's what screwed me. And then it told me to wait 30 minutes and I kept trying and I'm impatient. I want to get in there. I'm trying to get in it. All right, let me try hand typing it, I guess. PA odds be ever in her favor. At least it's not giving me the timeout message anymore. It's just telling me my password is wrong. Wrong password. Alright, y'all. I'm going to take one for the team and just buy a new one.
At Ana Concepcion Mojica 1658 sent $1.99 cheese Maybucks. I stopped watching TV. Your series is so good. Smiley face emoji.
I love it. Thank you, Bessie. Alright, we're gonna try to search as a guest again. Here goes another $10. This shit better be good. Somebody already said they logged in, right? Nothing good? Is it worth me dropping another $10 or no? To the Bessie that was in there, did you find anything around the year? I want to get in there because, no offense, but I feel like I might know where to look a little bit deeper than you guys, especially if you don't have experience with the system in there. And I can pull the charging docs. Even on those cases, I want to see what they are, where the location of the offense was, all of that. Okay, I'm in. Okay, be very careful. Just get in here. Don't touch nothing. Don't fuck shit up. Okay, I'm in. I'm gonna be very, very careful. All right, release the Carlos Ortiz files. Okay, last name is Ortiz. I'm in, y'all. Carlos, District and Justice. All right, we know his birthday is in 85. Here it is. Felony. Oh, January 8th, 2008. This is the one she's talking about. The offense date is January 8th, 2008. That's what she listed in the report, bestie. What the fuck? Hold on. Attempted forgery. The offense date is January 10th. In the request for the see, this is why I want to get in here. In the request for the protective order, she lists that as the offense date. January 11th, 2008. I'm not fucking crazy. What the fuck? How did you miss this? Okay, no. January 10th, he catches a forgery case, and January 11th is when she says this happened. Are you with me? Are you following me? Notice of bond, roll call, purchase, statement of defendant in support of guilt. He pled guilty. Wait, Candice, how the fuck did he do this to you on the 11th if he was charged, if he was catching forgery? What the fuck? See, Candice, this is shit you be doing, not be confusing the fuck out of us. Okay. Okay, let me, she said, no, look, her report, let me show you again. It's giving the same shit when she did the fucking, the proposal. Okay, so look, in her report, the most recent abuse happened on January 11th, 2008. Okay. That's when she said that he stopped her outside of her apartment and said that she owed him money. This case has an offense date, okay, hold on, of the 8th. January 8th? Oh, this is January 11th, I'm sorry. January 11th, so 3 days later. So 3 days before he tells her, I'm going to send my big friends after you, allegedly, he was catching a forgery charge. Notice of bond hearing. Wait, was he in jail? Notice of bond hearing. No, this is appearance of counsel. Notice of bond hearing on November 15th. These are usually held when people are in custody, y'all. So how the fuck did he pull up to her outside of her apartment if, according to this, it appears he was in custody for forgery? Am I looking at this right? 2010? 2010? Okay, maybe not. No, okay. No. Take that back. That's 2010. Please give me some grace. This is live research. On 2/12, a warrant is issued on February 12th, 2008. So they issued a summons? What the fuck? What the All right, let's get the guilty plea. Attempted possession of forgery device. Okay, on January 4th, 2008 in Salt Lake County, I attempted to possess a forged social security card, which I knew was forgery. Are you guys seeing this? Sorry, let me move this. Okay, so this is what he pled guilty to. He said the offense date is January 4th. He didn't have papers either. I attempted to possess a forged social security card, which I knew was forged. Plea agreement. Amend count 1 to attempted class A. Plead and deport! He didn't have papers either! Plead and deport? Wait! Why would you get a PO on him if he was getting deported, Candice? Why the fuck did she keep dating people with no papers? I am 25 years of age. I have attended school through the 11th grade. Oh my god, this just gets getting crazier. Why does she keep dating is it just a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? What the fuck? Plead and deport. This says it clearly. Print that shit immediately. Save. That's going in the Candice files. This is a lot, guys. Do y'all catch that? Like, let me take a pause. What the is she an undercover ICE agent? Okay, at least he spoke English. Plead and deport. Plead and deport. Hashtag plead and deport. So hold on. What this is dated. This was dated November 30, 2010. He had to have been in custody. He had to have been in custody. Or was it plead and self-deport? Let's keep looking. Warrant issued, warrant recalled in May of 2014. Case closed. This is crazy. Resolution hearing, minutes for arraignment. I want to go back. Okay, so that was in 2008. Then he got another case. He also had a 2007 case. But that was the last case he caught. He got deported. Which would make sense. So he pled in 2010. He got deported in 2010? What's going on? What's going on? Oh my gosh. Why did she... Is it just a coincidence that she dated 2 undocumented men? And they both ended up with cases on her? We need that whiteboard expeditiously, bitch. Okay, let me see what his other case was for in 2007. Maybe this was during the time he was dating her. No valid DUI. Oh, no valid license, no proof of insurance. All right, nothing crazy. Case closed. Review hearing in 2013. I want to read the case notes. This is the forgery case, by the way. Okay. I'm going to study this case again. This is the forgery case where he pled into... His plea deal was to deport. Okay, they filed an information. Warrant fax to the jail. Right here. Defendant was in jail! January 8th, 2008. Defendant was in jail. So how was he pulling up to her apartment 3 days later if he was in jail? Look, right here, it states, filed by Detective L. Wright, Salt Lake City Police Department, defendant in jail, warrant fax to jail. Candice, did you lie on this man? How was he pulling up to her saying big bad hombre, or my friends are going to come pull up to you, owe me money, if this man is sitting in jail on the 8th? She says these... She said that he had been calling her since the 8th nonstop. Look. Look. Look at this. Oh my God. Hold on. I just remembered something. She said in her statement, in the request for protective order, she probably didn't even know he was in jail. Otherwise, she would have had him served at the jail. In her request, she said, he has been calling my cell phone nonstop since Friday the 8th. How if he was in jail? He has also been watching my apartment. I was walking home and he stopped. How if he was in jail? She lied. Something's off here. She lied. From his jail cell? No, because she said, why would she need a protective order if he was in jail? He's been calling my cell phone since the 8th, and according to her, he pulled up to her on the 11th. But court records say he wouldn't be able to be blowing her up out of jail like that. Wouldn't you have to accept the calls? All right, let's continue reading the case notes. Look, he was in jail the 9th. On the 10th, they scheduled a hearing for the 27th. He was in court on the 10th for his initial appearance. He was in court on January 10th for his initial appearance. A copy of the information is given to the defendant. The information is read, advised of charges and penalty. The defendant is advised of right to counsel. Roll call is scheduled. LDA is appointed. Defendant is out to pre-trial services as of yesterday. Okay, so he was released on the 9th. Okay, Candice. Okay, let me give you a chance. Maybe she got her dates wrong. No, this is the same year. It's 2008. So he comes back on the 27th. On the 8th. Bail remain Pretrial service, appearance of counsel, formal request for discovery. On the 22nd, defendant failed to appear. Pretrial release revoked. Warrant issued. Okay. Okay, so pardon my reaction. Maybe I got a little bit ahead of myself. Was he calling her from jail? But think about this. Why would she be filing for protective order if he was calling her from jail? Why would she not mention in her protective order that he could be served in jail? Oh my gosh, this was my judge, Tupac Renteria. This was the judge in my termination of parental rights in my juvenile hearing. He was a prosecutor in '08. Sorry, guys. Oh, look. Defendant appeared late. Okay, so he did show up on the 22nd. Bench warrant withdrawn and case set for resolution. Another warrant on the date that she filed for her protective order, which was on the 12th of February. A warrant was issued for him because he did not appear to court. Look, right here, warrant. He didn't appear at the next hearing. Warrant. And it looks like from 2008, he was AWOL until he gets booked into jail in 2010. Booked into ADC. That's when he pleads to deport. 11/4. Let's go down to when he took his plea deal. Resolution hearing. 11/23. The defendant was transported due to lockdown. They continued his hearing. 11/30. Okay, this is where he took a plea deal. Yep, right here. This is where it talks about deportation. Let me read to you the plea deal he took in November of 2020. Change of plea. Based on the defendant's conviction of attempted possession, Class A misdemeanor, the defendant is sentenced to a term of 365 days. The total suspended for this charge is 365 days. The defendant is placed on probation for 24 months. Defendant may be released early for deportation into the custody of ICE or leave the country voluntarily within 10 days of release. Do not re-enter illegally. Right here. So part of his plea deal was to deport. And you never heard of him again in the court system. That was the last charge he ever got. This is wild. – 2011, case details, warrant. So he got deported in November 2010, right after Candice was shocked up with her new victim having a baby. He was deported. His plea deal included a deportation clause. So on his written statement, it said plead and deport, and on the court docket noted, defendant, he was sentenced to a year in jail, suspended prison sentence, but placed on probation for 24 months. Defendant may be released early for deportation into the custody of ICE or leave the country voluntarily within 10 days of release. Do not enter the country illegally. So yes, his plea deal included deportation. That's crazy. We need to print this. This going into the case. It's also going into the case files. This is eerie. This is eerie. You really think this is like a fucking coincidence? Do you believe this is a coincidence? Like, it's super weird. And that's the only case. That's the last case. No, after that. Oh no, that's the last case for Carlos Ortiz in the state of Utah. Look right here. With his date of birth. That's the last one. Wait, 12/16/2010? Never mind. Hold on. That was 2008. He had a case, Salt Lake City Justice Court. Never mind. Hold on. Let me look. He had a DUI in October of 2010, so he didn't deport? Wait, dismissed, dismissed, dismissed? Oh, it was dismissed? Wait, why was it dismissed? Hold on. This is him, 12/12/1985. Oh, look at the address. Well, no, it's not the exact same one. Okay, hold on. Let me read this case. He got charged with a DUI October 29, 2010. How of it if he was supposed to be deported? Bad address. Defendant failed to appear. He called in 2011. Carlos Ortiz phoned in regarding his tax refund, stated he did not receive this DUI, pulled file. Case was entered with the wrong driver's license. Correct driver's license is this one. Checked UCH and DUI was reported on the correct Carlos Ortiz fax. Oh, this was not the right one? What? Tax check to be refunded to Carlos and Leida Ortiz. Verified on the driver license division that the FTA was taken off of the wrong Carlos Ortiz and added to the correct Carlos Ortiz. Check request sent to finance to refund the tax. Okay. DLD Rosalie to verify the correct Carlos Ortiz had been charged and the other cleared. Advised everything taken care of. Phone defendant and advised to call DLD later in the afternoon. What? So this was some type of... and it got dismissed. Huh. This case was dismissed due to some type of identity issue. So we can't, somebody maybe used his info, is what it looks like. So going back, I think he actually did get deported in 2007. Or sorry, in 2000. After he pled to this felony, he got deported. This case in 2010 was dismissed, identity issues. So I think somebody else was using his name. They called in. And it ultimately got dismissed. So I can't say for certainty that he was in the U.S. at that time. So that Carlos Ortiz, the last case for that Carlos Ortiz is that 2008 case. Now, she had mentioned in her request for protective order that he was on probation. Pre-trial, and he was out on pre-trial. Hold on here. Pre-trial mean he was out on pre-trial for the other case. This case that she's referencing is that forgery charge. Because remember, he was out on pre-trial a day before she filed for this. Are you guys following along? So look, in her request for a PO, she specifies that he's out on pre-trial and this is his case manager. Mind you, she knew he's undocumented. She knew he was undocumented. She knew he was facing proceedings. He knew and to add to it, she went and filed a request for a PO. What is happening? There's something we're missing here. Did I change this to members only? Oh, sorry. I wanted this to be public. Sorry. I only wanted the no, wait, visibility is public, right? I just wanted the members to be the ones to comment. Do I have it right? Yeah, it's public. No, sorry, it was members only. I meant to make the chat. Oh well, my replay will be available for everybody. It was members only, sorry. We're back to public, sorry. Okay, guys, I'm confused. So she knew he had that pending case for forgery because he was in possession of a fake social security card. She knew he was out on pretrial. He had just gotten out of jail a day before she filed for this, and he was out on pretrial services. So much that she knew the name of the case manager that was supervising him on pretrial. She claims that as soon as he got out of jail, he went to her house and said that she owed him money. She decided to file protective order because of that. Not because he allegedly, not because the original incident that would have led me to get a protective order, but the original incident she cites is that he broke her phone, damaged her property, and tried to OD at the beginning of January. Which is crazy because he got arrested for the forgery on January 4th. So she decides to get a protective order as soon as he gets out of jail. Once she realizes they're not holding him, she goes to file for a protective order. She has all the information on that pending charge, so much that she knows the name of his pretrial manager. Right here, Pat Kimball. Something's off. Something's off. I don't think she filed for this protective order because of fear for her safety. I think something happened. He got out of jail. He went to her. She owed him something, and so she decides to get a PO. She didn't get a protective order when he tried to break down her door, when he broke her phone because of the fit of rage of jealousy, whatever, at the beginning of the month. She got a PO when he got out of jail. Now, I would like to know how he got arrested with that fake social security card. Did she have something to do with that arrest? Otherwise, what would she be so afraid of as soon as he got out of jail? Do you see where I'm going with this? I want the charging documents for this case. And I want the police report. Case filed. Affidavit of indigency. So, we're going to submit a GRAMA request for his arrest on January 4th. That date is too close to the date that she cites he freaked out on her. Also, she admits he got arrested. Wait. She's going to be part of his arrest record. What if she... Look, she cites right after New Year's, the police came and he was arrested. That's why he was in custody. She's part of his arrest record. She was there when he got arrested for that fraud charge. Oh my God. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? Are you following what I'm saying? No way. Yeah, we just put it together. His guilty statement, he said that on January 4th, he was caught in possession of a fake social security card. She says that at the beginning, right after New Year's, they had an incident and she called the police, or the police came and he was arrested. She called the cops on him. And she threw him on, but they didn't charge him with DV. Like she says, if this is true, if this was true right here, they would have charged him with DV. They charged him with forgery. She set him up. She set him up. She's not the victim unless that's her social security card. if they arrested him for this, if he would have been charged with DV. I can tell you that because this happened to me. Walter punched a hole in the wall. I called the cops and they sent him a summons a month later. They didn't arrest him. But if he had done all this and that's why he was arrested, they would have charged him with DV or destruction of property, something. They charged him with forgery, not breaking down her door. And then as soon as he got out, he went to her house. And so she filed for a protective order. She owed him money. We're gonna find this police report. Absolutely, we are. Absolutely, we're gonna follow GRAMA requests right now. I don't care if she sends in an objection. They're gonna at least give us the context of what happened. Salt Lake City Police Department. Who was the original charge on this was, oh, I gotta pee, guys. Was she a loan shark? Oh my god, I did not think the Carlos Ortiz files were gonna be like this. Fuck. All right, let me go again. I gotta pee. Can we take a quick potty break? I'm invested. Was Carlos a loan shark? Did they scam Fergie? Okay. Potty break. Be right back. Okay, besties, I'm back. That was the quickest potty break ever. My mind is going 100 miles an hour. She, in my opinion, my speculation, and I haven't been wrong yet, weaponized his status and she weaponized Fidel's status. Absolutely. I am almost like, I feel like we just uncovered like this crazy case. Like this is so twisted. She's the reason he went to jail at the beginning of January, mark my words. And when he got out, he went to reclamarle. She got scared and runs to file a protective order and tries to throw him under the bus. And then he disappeared, which is why she couldn't serve him. He disappeared. He knew what he was facing. Mark my words. She did something that got him arrested. That police report is not going to match what she said in that request for protective order. Promise you. This man spoke English. He spoke English. So he had to have given his version of events in the police report. All right, let's pull it. Let's pull it. This is crazy. This is so crazy. Candice, like... Okay, it was Salt Lake City Police Department. And she owes him money. This is literally insane. What have we uncovered here? Am I the only one shocked? Like, guys, I feel like we're working a true crime murder mystery almost. Okay, it's $15 per report, $33 for body cam footage. I'm gonna request it. It's a gamble if they still have it or not. Who's going in on research fees, besties? It's our time to shine. For those of you that want to go in on this police report, I'm going to drop the tip page. My Venmo is also on my banner, and also super chats. I appreciate all your support. We are here as a team. I'm shaky, guys. This is like, I thought we were done with this series. I thought we were I did not think we were going to uncover anything crazy like this, but I feel like I'm getting like to the bottom of it. City records, police department request. Thank you, bestie.
I got 5 on it.
I got 5 on it. Thank you so much. Okay, we are the media. Wait, am I the public or am I the media?
At Christina's Parks 2298 cent $4.99 cheese Maybox. Candice be scamming.
Shout out to Alfana. Thank you so much, bestie.
At Adriana Pantoja 6434 cent $9.99 cheese Maybox. Cheese Maybox, United States dollar emoji.
Thank you, besties. Ugh, guys, I'm literally like, shout out to Belinda. She just sent a $10 Venmo. Release the files.
Disturbing she did it to 2 men.
Yes. I don't think this is a coincidence, you guys, at all. There's no way this is a coincidence. This live will be available for public replay. Yes, it will. I think this is important information to get out.
At Carl Azamore 2941 cent $9.99 cheese Maybox.
She's an undercover. Okay, body cam, 911 dispatch. Oh, yes. Police report, photos, statistical information. All of it. The 911 call. Guys, I'm shaking. I don't know. Is it the caffeine? Is it just I just feel like I'm uncovering something crazy here. Is this incident the reason why in the police call for the debut she said something along the lines of she dealt with something like this? No. Okay, sorry. Sorry if this part is a little boring, besties. I am filling out the information for the GRAMA request. 2008. Arrest for forgery, writing device, state of Utah. Ortiz. Agency case number, violation date 1/4/2008. Was the prosecuting and the location is in her apartment complex, you guys. She was there in the public, the court records. Okay, so in her request for a protective order, the address that she listed for her home address is the location of the incident in the public records. Guys, this is so fucking crazy. I did not think the protective order was gonna have this. He was arrested at her house. He was arrested at her house. And that's why she ran to get a PO as soon as he got out. Oh, let me finish this. Hold on. This is fucking crazy. What's an expedited response? Sorry, besties, bear with me. I'm almost done. Probably a loan shark to get fake IDs. Going to attach some and Ortiz case history. Would I get faster Venmos? Yeah, both super chats and tips are held. Elvia, thank you so much for the $10 Venmo Chisme Bucks. Yvonne, thank you so much for the $8 Zelle for Candice Mystery. And Maria, thank you so much for the $20 Chisme Bucks. Okay, so we will be subject to additional fees. Okay, I requested whatever they have. I want the 911 call. I want the police report. I want the CAD calls. I want any body cam footage if they have it available. Okay, all of that. And I'm not asking for a fee waiver. What is the... And I'm requesting an expedited response. It's obviously they're closed Saturday and Sunday. Someone playing Carlos Ortiz for an interview. All right, submitted. Now we wait. This is crazy. Candice, this is some good fucking shit, bitch. You was a crazy bitch. You is a crazy bitch. This is a different police department than the one that I requested the other one for. The other one was a different police department. I will say I've worked with this police department previously, and they do respond rather quickly. All right, just got confirmation of our FOIA request. We marked that as a primary contact. Wow. Are you requesting mugshots? I requested whatever they have available. We can keep digging. I mean, so this, guys, I'm convinced she got him arrested. She got him arrested. And what she claims happened on that date doesn't match the charge. Okay, I'm calling it now. I'm speculating, and I haven't been wrong thus far. In the request for a protective order, she told the judge, or she told the courts, that he had broken her phone, he had broken the door, he had this, and that he had been arrested. But why was he charged with forgery if he had... That doesn't match. Where the fuck is the social security card coming from? My guess is they showed up, searched him, found it on him, and took him for that because they couldn't take him for anything else. They don't respond on the weekends. No. Candice, you better hurry and send your fucking position. This case is not a domestic violence case. This is a forgery case. It's very different. She will not have the same luck if she files and, if she opposes to the release of the files. She is not the defendant. I'm not asking for information on her. I asked for information on him. The case is already closed. Good fucking luck, bitch. Yeah. The tea is...
Ednosilla 89831 sent $4.99 cheese Maybox. The tea is hot. Fire emoji. Fire emoji. Fire emoji.
Who is Carlos Ortiz? You're gonna have to go back. You're gonna have to go back. The more I study this, the more... Look, it's crazy, and you guys get to see it live, but you don't really put all this together until you start comparing different things that she said to the police. You see what I'm saying? When I first got the report, I thought we were just going to be hee-hee-ha-haing over this mystery boyfriend. This went south. This goes so deep. I see a pattern of her weaponizing statuses. I think she lied. She knew he was undocumented when she called the police on him on January 4th. She knew. She fucking knew. I was just watching a replay of Womblands the other day on TikTok. Carlos Ortiz is the first man she helped deport. Fidel is the second one. Joanne Gutierrez, thank you so much for the $20 research Venmo. Thank you, thank you. The whiteboard is supposed to arrive on Monday. We should have the whiteboard ready for this fucking crazy timeline. Guys, is this going to change anything? Probably not, but we're getting to know Candice on a very deep level. This is fucking crazy. And you would have never put it together. You would have never known until I started you see what I'm saying? You guys got to watch it live, how we came up with some of these conclusions. At first glance, I'm so glad we pulled up his record. I didn't think his record would give us much. The fact we pulled up his record and then these dates started coinciding of, wait, the date at the beginning of January, you guys, I don't know, my mind is going like, I feel like I'm solving a murder mystery. Stephanie, the tea está caliente. The investigative fuel and receipts, thank you so much. Yes. Guys, how do you feel? I don't know. I feel like I just cracked the biggest mystery. I feel like I just cracked the biggest fucking mystery. She says they lived together. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back and look. Oh, sorry. Again, now that we've done a little bit of research, let's go back through the protective order request. Maybe we missed something. But this is how we find stuff. Oh, a bestie made a timeline for us? Oh, bestie, I haven't. Okay, request access. Okay, I just sent you access. Hold on. Something. Algo me llamó mucho la atención just now. Hold on. Let me pull up the original 350. Yep. 350 East 700 South. I redacted her address just for the fucks of it. But 350 East 700 South is the address listed on the public record of where the location of the violation occurred. Right here, 350 East 700 South. This address, and this is the offense date right here. You see? Offense date January 4, 2008. Location 350 East 700 South. That's the same address that I redacted right here. Right here. That's her address. She got him arrested, y'all. She got him arrested. Mark my fucking words. And it's the same scenario. She says that he was jealous over the ex-husband. And that's what she said about Fidel. That he freaked out because her friend came to help her with her vehicle. So the exact same scenario happened with two different men that happened to both be undocumented. That happened to both get deported over her reporting these things. I don't know, guys. Like I don't. I'm just questioning the. Am I frozen? There's a lot of similarities in the case. Is it a coincidence or is it a pattern? Am I frozen? Hold on. I need Candice, please stop. Please let us get our tea in. This is crazy good. Okay, let me pause. I think I'm lagging. Let me know when I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Sorry, it was lagging a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I'm sure the guy helping her jumpstart the car wasn't her friend. Now that's probably Fidel was upset. Okay. It's hard to not look at the similarities of the two incidents. The same circumstances, two undocumented men. This one speaks English though. So I do think when we get the report, we'll at least see what he said to the cops when he got arrested. Something's off here. Something's off, Candice. She told him where he was staying to serve him, ex-boyfriend. When did they live together? Listen, if she lived with this man, she knew that he was undocumented. Okay? And let me just say this now. If the report comes back to say that this is what happened, and she's claiming that the police came, and she doesn't admit that she's the one that called yet, but that the police came because he broke all these things, he got jealous, and he tried to overdose on cocaine. If that's what the police report says, I'm not going to be mad at Candice for reporting this. I'm going to say she's a victim of DV. But the charges don't add up to what she's saying happened. Why would they charge him with forgery if this is what happened? You see what I'm saying? So threatened to send his friends after me. Now you understand. Why did he threaten her? Now you understand why he threatened her. The request for the PO, she went to get a protective order, not after the incident where he broke down her door. She went to get it after he got out of jail, because he came out and went to threaten her. Why would he threaten her? She set him up. That's what I think. That's what I think happened. My Ben was asking for the last 4693 bestie. She sounds like she made something up to get him arrested. They take him to jail. He bonds out or gets on a pretrial. She gets scared because then he comes back and says, bitch, what the fuck? And then that's when she files for the protective order. Was he a dealer and she stole from him, so she did a report so you would have to pay? There's a lot of things that could have happened. We won't know until we get that police report, but I'm already speculating. I'm already seeing where this is going. I don't think she was truthful in this request. And it shows me a pattern of using the system to her advantage on people that are vulnerable because they don't have status. He got deported because of this. He got deported because of this case. Fidel got deported because of their case too. She had her hand in 2 separate deportations. That's not a fucking coincidence. 2 men got deported at the root of her calling authorities. And now she's part of the hashtag life after deportation. You got me fucked up, Candice. You're getting these men deported and you had the nerve to become, now you're hashtag life after deportation? Bitch, the audacity! The nerve! This is fucking twisted. Twisted. What if he did never hit her? Look, whatever is in this case is gonna determine how I feel about her case with Fidel. There's no way this is a coincidence. 2 separate incidents. This is a pattern. This is a pattern. Hashtag plead and deport. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm pretty sure. Did I not say this man was her boyfriend when I first pulled up the case? Did I not call it? I could have never seen what was in this case. I would have never suspected this, but I knew this was a boyfriend when I saw the PO. I wasn't wrong. Have I ever led you astray, besties? Now we need to know who the fuck Anthony is. Where the fuck Anthony? Come here. We need to find Carlos Ortiz. One person I would love to interview. I would reach out to this man. Yes, I would. I would reach out to him. I know I've said part of my series I wouldn't want to reach out to people. No, I would reach out to him. I would reach out to him. Is he in Mexico? Did he get deported over this? He never resurfaced in Utah. Never resurfaced in Utah, at least through court records, unless maybe he went back and laid hella low. I bet besties, let's find a Carlos Ortiz born in 1985 on Facebook. We need to find him. God, that name is just too common. There's a Carlos Ortiz in Utah from La Puente, California. The name is too common to find him on social media. Did you unlock more details? So she says he's been calling my phone nonstop since Friday the 8th. Why did he start calling her on the 8th if he's been in jail since the 4th? Nina! Welcome, bestie.
At 9 and Eves 371 has purchased a membership.
Super chat. Thank you, bestie. Welcome. Okay, okay, so the offense date is January 4th, and he gets arrested. Then she says he starts blowing me up as of the 8th. Do you think she just got her dates twisted? Maybe he got released on the 8th instead of the 9th? And he starts calling her as soon as he gets out. He was looking for something. She made it seem like he's this possessive, ex-jealous boyfriend that is jealous because my ex-husband called me. But I think he was loitering around her apartment for something else. I'm not saying it was right if this is what he did. He gets out of jail and immediately pulls up to her house. Why? This is not over no jealousy. She did something. She did something that landed him in jail with a forgery charge. He got out, said she owed him money. Life after I get you deported. That's when she got scared, and she said, because she knew she had done something. I could be wrong. This is my speculations, okay? And we'll find out when those reports come in. But she did something to him that landed him in jail. He gets out and he's pissed. And he gets deported over this. He gets deported over this. Over having possession of a social security card that was forged. Let me pull up what he pled to in 2010. So they broke up, right? Because in 2010 is when he pled. And he didn't catch no more cases. He struggled staying compliant, but he pled in 2010. Let's go through his plea again. Statement in support of guilty plea and certificate of counsel. They gave him a plea deal and they knocked it down from a third-degree felony to a Class A misdemeanor. On January 4th, 2008 in Salt Lake County, I attempted to possess a forged social security card, which I knew was forged. I attempted to possess. Did she say that he tried to take her social security card? I have not waived my right to counsel. His name is Noval something. Presumption of innocence, all his rights, appeals, consequences, penalties, plea agreement, plead and deport. She was probably a witness in this case. He was only 25. Why do I feel like this man got fucked by Candice? And he had attended up through 11th grade. Somebody knows Carlos Ortiz in Utah. Born in 85. We know he could write and read. We don't know what he looks, but there has to be a booking sheet. Salt Lake County has to have a booking sheet. They're gonna have his mugshot somewhere. Might even be already somewhere publicly. Oh, we just opened up a whole nother layer to this. Oh, Candelaria. Let me go back. I would have never guessed that this this forgery charge was tied to her. I would have never guessed it without that PO order. Remember the bestie that logged in? She was like, oh, I see his fraud and DUI. I was like, I want to get in there because I just want to look. I want to compare. And this is what I mean by nobody would have ever put this shit together, besties. Nobody. At first glance, oh, it's just a fraud. It's just a forgery charge. At first glance, you would have no idea, no way of knowing Candice was part of this case. until you read the request for protective order, you break down the dates, you put the clues together based off of what she said, what the police department says. This is so... I'm too good at this, I fear. Candice, I would hate me too, bitch. Candelaria, I would hate me too. I feel like I'm obsessed all over again. I gotta find it. I gotta find the fucking truth. She's out here deporting these men. It is sick how easy it is for her to ruin people's lives with her white privilege. Yep. And this is the face of deportation. This is who's helping families facing deportation.
Not Candelaria dating all the bat on race her MAGA family hates. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
God, this is so crazy. I was about to go take a nap. I was about to go take a nap, y'all. And as soon as I was about to log off, I checked my email and I saw it and I was like, fuck. Oh my gosh, a bestie made an entire timeline. Oh my gosh, can I share this? Bestie, are you in here? Can I share this? Wow, bestie, I am impressed. She made a whole spreadsheet with dates and everything we've uncovered. How impressive. I have to show you this. I'm so proud of you, bestie. Sorry, I gotta show this. Okay, email. 1 second. Please hold for the timeline. And this is, we're eventually going to put this on the whiteboard, okay? This bestie made a whole timeline, an Excel spreadsheet with the dates, everything we've uncovered. See, this is why I like your guys' help, because sometimes y'all be doing more than me. Can't wait for the whiteboard. Oh, I'm gonna dream about this. I'm supposed to be studying for finals, damn it. All right, you ready for this? All right, this here is our timeline. I'm so sorry, Candice. I'm so sorry. We just look at the detail in this spreadsheet, you guys. She's got addresses, she's got dates. She starts this timeline all the way when they were born. Okay, Fidel is born in July of 1980. Candice is born in 1988. There's an 8-year difference. No, Candice is born, actually, Bestie, I want to fix that for you. She was born in January 29th. There you go. Fixed it for you. Okay. Fidel first came to the U.S. in 1997. First arrested in 1999. Bestie, can you notate why he was arrested? How do we know he was arrested in 1999? Address update. Damn, look. She's got all his addresses. Record of Fidel alias. Candice graduated Carbon High School, even with a link, class of 07. Carbon High School in May of 2007. Candice married Brian Ferguson on June. What was the date? 27th, 2007. Separates from Brian allegedly. Okay, Candice meets Fidel November 2007, or could it be 2008? Carlos Ortiz forgery charge January 4th, not the 8th. Protective order for Carlos filed. No, she filed this. When did she file this? She filed it on February 12th, but she claimed the offense dates were January 11th and January 8th. Okay. Protective order for Carlos. We need to add his deportation in here and when he pled. Who's XL bestie? So when did he pled guilty? Protective order, I guess. I mean, plead and deport November 30th, 2010. No wonder she left. He thought she burned bridges. Yeah. This is what they meant by Candice was hella messy. All right. Well, there's our timeline. Bestie, thanks for all that hard work. We're going to need that timeline. Alma, are you in here? Have you seen this shit show, Alma? Where is she? Where is she? Alma, we're going to need you to do this recap, okay? Alma is in... Where can I see the Excel? Here. Let me put it back up. Can you screenshot this really quick? Or I guess I could email it to you, send you a copy. Screenshot real quick. There's the first half. And then there's the other half. Oh yeah, drop your email and the author of this can link you to the Excel spreadsheet. This is so crazy, you guys. This is so crazy. Sorry, I'm like shocked. I'm legitimately shocked. I at most thought, Araceli, bestie, thank you so much. He just funded me $20. She said so invested. Margie A sent $15 for documents. Thank you, besties. We have requested all records on this case. 911 call, body cam footage, police report, CAD calls. Whatever they have on this forgery charge, we're gonna get it. I need to know what happened. I need to know why they arrested him. And I'm certain it does not match the version of events on the request for her protective order. For those of you that are just tuning in, we have established a pattern of Candice helping deport undocumented men. Period. Okay, it's not even just a speculation anymore. She helped deport this young man in 2010. She helped deport Fidel in 2012. And we're getting, yeah, we can scroll back to this live will be available for replay. Guys, I'm kind of affected by today's findings. Can I be honest? This is kind of triggering. I can't believe what I've just uncovered. If this is true, if my speculations are right about this, and they haven't been wrong yet, the fact she is now living in Mexico representing deportation stories is so fucking twisted to me. This replay will be available for everybody. Yes. Is she an undercover ICE agent? Holy fuck. I already looked at her different, but this makes me look at her more evil. There's something there was something here. I'm sure this is stuff nobody knows about, you guys. I feel like this is something she's probably never told anybody. Nobody ever put this together. At first glance with this forgery charge, you would not know she had any involvement in it. I'm sure this is stuff she's probably never even told her inner circle. I think we're uncovering some deep, dark, hidden secrets she's had. Oh, it's definitely not very LDS behavior, the way she was moving. Definitely not. There's no denying she's right-wing. La migra not simple. Some of the stuff is probably not going to get the traffic it deserves, but for us that are all up in the series, this is so crazy to me. You know what? When how long ago was that? This charge is older though. This charge is much older than her and Fidel's. So it's a gamble. Who knows if who knows what records are available, because this one is older.
At 8, Amagali sent $9.99 cheese made
Thank
box.
you, Bessie.
Love our study session. 2 hearts emoji.
And by study, we mean we're studying Candice's history. Yeah, so he would. And you know what's interesting, though, about when he got arrested is they didn't place an ICE detainer on him. They didn't place an ICE detainer on him. They released him on pretrial services. So why the fuck was deportation part of his plea deal? I've never seen that before. If he was released on pretrial services, that means ICE didn't have a hold on him. So how the fuck did ICE come into play in this case? How did the deportation plea deal, why was that even part of that? That was in 2010. Exactly. Immigration enforcement wasn't that crazy in 2010. Right? 2010. Who was president in 2010? Thank you, Bessie. Thank you, Linda.
Dalsima7259 has just tipped $20 through Super Chat. I've been driving. Here's my part for the reports.
Okay. Thank you so much, Linda. Okay, but I know about, but there was no ICE detainer placed on him. At what point, why did ICE become a part, why did deporting become a part of his plea deal? The information was right. It was Candy Face. Did she pull a Sabrina on this man? Obama was in 2010. But still, it makes no sense, because if they were going to place a detainer on him, they would have done it when he got booked. Okay, and so look, let's again read through the history, because we read through it kind of fast because we were so excited, okay? But look. Offense date is January 4th at her house. Well, at the complex that they lived in. So I'm not going to say her house because it doesn't list the apartment number. Okay, the case was filed on the 8th. Filed from information. He was in jail on the 8th. Initial appearance his initial appearance was scheduled for January 10th. On the date of the hearing, which is January 10th, the court noted that the defendant was out on pretrial as of yesterday, which was the 9th. Hold on. We're missing something. She filed for this on February 12, 2008, not right after he got out of jail. She filed for this on February 12th. She filed for it on February 12th, but she referenced that these things happened right after he got out of jail. Why did she wait that long to file for a PO? Look, filing date is February 12th. He got out of jail on January 9th. So why did she wait almost an entire month to file for a protective order when she says almost a day after he got out of jail, he came to my house, said I owed him money, threatened me. But she waited an entire month, over a month, to file for that protective order. Okay, January 10th, bail remained, pretrial service. He showed up late to the January 22nd. Now, on February 12th, he had a hearing. And this is the same date that she filed for the protective order. So the same date that she files for a PO, he doesn't show up to court. And a bench warrant is issued for his arrest. Right? Warrant for issue. Yep. Look right here. Warrant issued. Defendant failed to appear for roll call on February 12, 2008. And that same day, she filed for a protective order. All right. That warrant was outstanding for over 2 years until he gets arrested in November of 2010 on that warrant. He was booked right here into ADC, bench warrant hearing scheduled on November 4th. So, and then a few weeks later, that's when he pleads guilty, plead and deport, and he gets deported. I wonder why he got arrested. So he must have been out somewhere doing something. He ran into law enforcement because he didn't catch a charge in 2010. He ran into law enforcement and they booked him on that warrant. And then he was never seen or heard from again. Fighting before Valentine's Day. Isn't that when she claims Fidel proposed to her? No, that was in 2012, right? She was getting knocked up around that time. Wasn't she getting knocked up in February? Hold on. Diego, no, wait. No, he's born next year. Never mind. But she was meeting him. She met Fidel in November 2008. She did it that day because she knew he didn't go to court. Are the dates a coincidence? That she filed for a PO the day that he didn't show up for his hearing? Now, in this case, I don't see... So remember, like in Fidel's case, how she wrote a victim impact statement ahead of a sentencing? I was looking for anything like that in the notes, but I don't see that. But I believe she was probably keeping up with the case the same way that she was keeping up with Fidel's. Because remember, with Fidel, she was calling in, telling them he's illiterate, he needs help, this and that. She was sending in victim impact statements right ahead of his sentencing. So it wouldn't surprise me that she was keeping up with this case.
At Cindy Lou Who 231 cent $1.99 cheese Maybucks. Justice for our undocumented brothers.
I think you're right. I think she knew. Does it tell us what time she filed this at? No. Had to be during business hours. His hearing on the 12th, when he didn't show up, was scheduled at 2 p.m. Let me pull up their history of that protective order. Carlos Ortiz. She filed it on 12/12/2008, 2/12/2008, and it was issued the same day. It doesn't give me a timestamp. Doesn't tell me what time, but I can only assume she had to file it before 2 p.m. for a judge to sign it that same day. If she had filed it, based on my experience with POs, because I've obtained some myself, for the judge to sign it the same day, you had to have filed it around the morning, before 2 p.m. If the judge issued the ex parte protective order for the 12th, that means it was received earlier in the day. If she would have filed it after the hearing at 2 p.m., it wouldn't have been issued until the next day. Did she file in the morning so she could serve him at court? No, because in the protective order, she didn't list that he could be served at court. She listed that he was still living in her complex, and that's where they could serve him, at the friend's house. So she had knowledge he was still living in her complex when she filed for that protective order in February of 2008, sorry. So look, let me show you the history of the protective order case. Okay, so she filed it 2/12/08, and then it was issued. They were not able to serve it, returned unserved on February 15th. So they canceled the upcoming hearing because they weren't able to serve him. She did show up. She showed up the 28th. The hearing is continued to March 20th. They extended the protective order to give her more time to serve him. The reason for change is failure of service. So they filed a new protective order, gave her more time to serve him. They scheduled another hearing on April 10th. On the hearing on the 20th of March, she showed up again. The hearing is continued to April 10th. The amended hearing is, so they extended the protective order again because failure of service. She couldn't serve him. On April 10th, 2008, she didn't show up. And because she didn't show up, they dismissed it. Maybe she filed it down so she can serve him at court. No, that's not how it works. She can't serve him. He would be served through a constable. And so she has to tell the constable exactly where to serve him, right? So she couldn't just file and then like find him somewhere and serve it. She can't be the one to serve him. So the address she had listed, the address where they were trying to serve him is the address she had listed on the request for a PO, which was her complex. I believe the reason why it got dismissed and she just didn't show up, I think she got back with him. I think there's a possibility they got back together for some time. And then when she met Fidel, she says November 2008. Maybe they had I don't know. Have you done a complete background search? Yeah. She was not a cooperating witness for Carlos either. Seriously. Oh my gosh, this is such a crazy case. Crazy. What else do you think we'll find? Yeah, there's nothing else for him after that. Nothing. 12/12. Nada. 12/12/80. Isn't that her son's birthday? 12/12. How old was she when this happened? How old was she in 2008? She was 19. Right? Because I think she's a year older than me. She was 19 and Carlos was 25 or mid-20s. No, he was 23 when she filed for the PO. She was 19, he was 23. Carlos is the only man in this history we have found that is not significantly older than her. And mind you, the whole time she's doing this, she's still married to Ferguson. So again, it just brings me back to like, why did she not divorce Ferguson? She had multiple boyfriends, had a baby daddy, and then didn't think to file for divorce until she got Fidel deported. Why didn't she try to help Carlos like she tried to help Fidel? So many questions. Well, because she had Fidel's baby. I don't think she was in a relationship with Fidel in 2007 like she claims. I do believe that she met Fidel in November of 2008, like she told the judge in his sentencing letters. To research Anthony, we would need his last name, and God knows what we would find there. Candice didn't file anything against that I have found. She hasn't filed anything against an Anthony that I have found. Oh, should have logged me out. Well, at least those $20 were put to use that we spent on the... I'm kind of glad we logged. I wasn't going to log in, and I was just going to tell you guys, we'll have to research some other time. But this was a crazy turn of events, no? Besties, quick wellness check. How are y'all? She was married and with 3 men and 28, which, again, to me, that's not the issue, right? I think we've all been hella messy. I think I'm gonna clock out of the. That's enough research for today. The issue to me, let's regroup now. The issue to me is we've all been messy. I mean, I personally have never dated that many men at the same time, but I'm not gonna judge somebody that has. The judgment for me comes from Carlos Antonio. No, there's no middle name. Oh, what if Carlos didn't have a middle name in any of his court filings? Did he have an alias? Maybe we'll find, maybe the police report will give us additional information for an alias or a middle name, but so far nothing. In the protective order, nothing. The request for a PO, nothing. She knew his date of birth. She knew all his identifying information. I think if he had a middle name, she would have included it. But if he's undocumented, that tells me he's from Mexico. He should have 2 last names, no? I think he would have had to have had. But look, he didn't have a car. He didn't have a job. He just had... It was just a bum with a bun. A bum with a bun. Would grandma say where he got deported? No. Oh, you're right. We don't know if he's Mexican. That would be in his immigration. That would be in his immigration files, not police records. But his police records might possibly include where he's from. Might list like country of birth. I know that Fidel's booking sheet included that he was from Mexico. So yeah, where's his booking sheet? You know what? I'm gonna try to get his booking sheet from Salt Lake County Jail so we can see what it looks like. So I was able to get Fidel's booking sheet from Salem Police Department, which had his mugshot. Salt Lake City Jail, GRAMA. I'm gonna request the booking sheet. See if we can get a mugshot for him. For Carlos Ortiz. One 4/2008 by Salt Lake City Police Department. And let's see if we can get the picture of the bum with a bun. The bum with a bun, the bum with a bum. That's catchy. Okay, Candice files. Case history. See, Fidel's county booking sheet did have him listed as birth city, Mexico. So if we can get the booking sheets for Ortiz, we'll probably be able to find where he's from. Carlos Ortiz history. What I'm trying to find? Oh, right here. Salt Lake City Police Department. And he was arrested. I'm also going to try to get the booking sheet for when he was rearrested in November. Let's see, November 4th, he was booked. Weren't recalled on November 1st. November 1st, 2010. Salt Lake City Police Department.
At Magical Bosoms sent $2 cheese Maybucks. His mugshot is on mugshots.com.
Wait, is it really? If it is, we don't need to submit this. Thank you, Bestie. Let me go look. Not Sheila Booth. Wait. Salt Lake City. Albert Carlos Ortiz. Utah. But how are you sure it's him? We want to see the mugshots. Ugh. Bessie, can you send it to me if you have it? Carlos Ortiz, 1991. Carlos Ortiz, 1991. Oh, it does give date of births. Okay, let me go through these. There's a few of them. A bum with a bun. Carlos Ortiz Torres? Are you sure? Carlos Ortiz. Booking day, 2011. I'm not finding it, Bestie. It's 2,000 results? Come on. Give me some. Bestie, help me. Alright. No, I don't want search arrest records. Carlos Ortiz Torres? How do you know that's him? Bestie, please tell me you found something concrete where you confirmed it's him, or I'm going on a wild goose chase here. Scroll down, you won't miss him. I can't see anything. Diego Ortiz, Victor Torres. I don't see a bum with a bun in here. I'm checking through dates of births, but I don't see anything. Carlos Gutierrez, Torres. Email it to me if you can. Otherwise, I'm gonna just submit for the booking. I'm still gonna submit for the booking sheets because they would contain more information and more credible than mugshots.com. But if you have it, please send it to us. It's there. Click Utah. Can you just send it to me? There is no option to click Utah. I went to mugshots.com. Listing view, gallery view. Did you search Carlos Ortiz or Carlos Torres Ortiz? Did you say Carlos Torres Ortiz? Carlos Ortiz Torres. Let me search this Carlos Ortiz. But there's 2,000 results. U.S. states. Oh, all right. Okay, Utah. 121 results in Utah. Okay, am I closer? All right, do you guys want to see? Let me show them what I'm working with, so they can guide me. Wait, you know what? Hold on. Let me not. I don't want to get in trouble for showing mugshots. Last time I showed what's his face's booking sheet, I got in trouble. Oh wait, is this the bum with a bun? Wait, booked 11/12/2007. He has long hair. Are you sure? I don't know if this is him though, because there's no date of birth. I don't know, bestie. Is this who you think it? He does have long hair. But it doesn't have a date of birth. How do I confirm this is him? He was booked 11/12/2007. Did we have a case of 11/12/2007? I kind of remember we did, no? I didn't save it. But I think he did have a 2007 case. But also, it says he's 26 here. Hold on, let me finish this GRAMA request. I don't know how reliable this is. The bottom and long hair one. Okay, 2 seconds. Let me finish the request for the booking sheet, just in case we don't find it. I gotta pee again. Ellie kiss number. Mayor, Salt Lake County Sheriff. All right, here goes. Okay, I submitted for the booking sheets on both arrest dates. I think that will be the best way to confirm that it's him, but I'll circle back to mugshots.com and see if we can. I do remember there was a charge in November of 2007. It might actually be him. Okay, so look. Let me log back into the court records. I do recall a 2007 case. We do have a description that he had long hair. She said long hair, a bum with a bun. Sorry. She mentioned he had long black hair. I mean, if that's him, like, okay, Candice. Okay, girl, I ain't mad at you. You had a different type, but... Okay, I'm back in the court system. Let me... Ortiz, Carlos. Okay, so... This... real quick, let me show you guys what I got. What I'm researching. Okay, so there was a case, the mugshot case, the mugshot list and arrest of November. Hold on, 1985. Where is this? Where is this? Right here. Carlos Ortiz, 2009. Sort by birthday. Oh, I gotta pee again. Hold on, guys. I need you to organize that by birth date. 1985. FS. This is him. Is this justice? Oh, this is district. Sorry, you need district and justice. Okay, so right here. All right, so the mugshot says he was booked 11. 11/12/2007. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the mugshot record states he was booked on November 11th, 2007. So I'm trying to match that up to his court records to see if that's him. November 11th, 2007. Nope. August 2007. I don't think that's him, guys. There's no arrest. There's no charges. Maybe he was booked and released and not charged. I guess that's a possibility as well. But there's no court case for him on that date. She said she met Fidel in 2008. But I mean, this does. A ver, if the mugshots.com lists that this man was 26 years old in 2007. That would have made him born in 1981, not 1985. I don't think that's him. I know he fits a description because of his long hair, but that's about it. But the dates of the age doesn't match, and there's no court record that he was charged on that date, although this is in Salt Lake County. Let me see if I can find another. I can find that. 11/2007. Okay, so he was arrested 11/12/07. There's an 11/19/07. No. This one was born in 1977. I don't think that's him. We were trying to find his mugshot. Let's keep looking. What else is in Utah? Oh, here he is again. That same kid. Wait. The same kid. Look at the arrest date. I think this is him. January 4th, 2008. Release date the 9th. This is him! This is him! This is him, you guys. This is him. This is him. January 4th was the date he got it, was the date of the arrest at their complex, and the January 9th is the day that he was released on pretrial. This matches the court records. This matches our description. 5'4". Well, he was even shorter. He's a short homie. 5'3", 145 pounds, age 26. Maybe the dates of births are off a bit. Now, this, I would not rely on this information. This is not mugshots.com is not a verifiable source. So I wouldn't rely too much on the numbers. What I'm focusing on is the arrest date, which would match our court case. It says he's a U.S. citizen. I wouldn't take that for face value. It's mugshots.com doesn't always have the most verifiable information because look, we just looked at his other arrest record and he has nothing for that. This is him. Carlos Ortiz was booked in Salt Lake County Jail. He looks so little. Are you sure this man is 26? I don't know, chat. Yeah, that's him. Okay, the fact that it says he's a U.S. citizen, don't rely on that. Mugshots.com is not a reliable source for that type of information. We saw in the court record the deportation was part of his plea deal. Do not rely on mugshots.com for verifiable court information. The date was added to 2012. All right. Well, I just requested the official booking sheet, but this might be a preview. He's little. Carlos Ortiz. So then let me go back to the first record. Hey, is this him again? He cut his hair. This is him. Booking date 2010. I thought he was deported. That's the same kid, no? That actually looks like Fidel. Look. When was this? Booking date 10/30/2010. Oh no, that makes sense because remember, he was arrested in November of 2010 and that's what triggered, that's why they sent him back to the fraud case. So this makes sense. He was arrested, so it makes sense. He was rearrested on the outstanding warrant in November of 2010. And he pled in November 30th, 2010. So this is also him. So that's what got him caught up again. So in the fraud case with Candice, or the forgery, he went MIA, he ghosted the courts, and he had a warrant for his arrest for like the 2 years. He resurfaces with that DUI. This is in 2010, well, according to this, right? And look, country of birth, Mexico. There you have it. There it is. Right here. Right here. And there you go. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Yep. We cracked it. Well, I guess we don't need his records anymore, or the booking. So when Candice was dating him, when Candice was dating him and living with him, he looked like this. Hold on. Okay, boyfriend reveal. When she was dating him, he looked like this. Like that. When he got arrested at her house, this was him. This is from the arrest right after New Year's that caught him the fraud charge, or the forgery charge. And when she went to file a protective order, this is her ex-boyfriend, y'all. Sorry for laughing. He looks so fucking little. I'm sorry, he looks like a wee baby. When he shaved his hair, he looked like a Fidel. Okay, quick potty break, okay? Quick potty break, BRB. Not this bitch saying he's prettier than her. Do you guys remember that the guache picture? I want to put it side by side so you guys can get some visuals, okay? How the hell was she ending up with these men? Do you guys remember that the guache picture? her throwback to 2011 with Fidel. Ugh, let me try to find that picture. I don't have it saved anymore. You remember that Tacuache picture? I want to give you a visual of what she looked like when she was dating this. He looks like a little boy. What if he's not really that old? Maybe he was using somebody else's info or something. He just doesn't, he doesn't look 26. He looks like 18 almost. Is it just me or... Okay. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is her in 2011. This is in 2008. I mean, it was a 3-year difference. Like, how does she end up with these men's? Where did she find these men's? In her apartment complexes? And why was she always living in the hood? Okay, the apartment complexes that are listed, like that we've been researching, they're all in the hood, like on the south side. Like there's a lot of Hispanics over there. But what the fuck was she doing over there? Like he just doesn't. He looks teeny. What if that wasn't his real age and identity? What if his name is not really Carlos Ortiz and that wasn't his real age? That kid did not look 26. He looks like an 18, 19-year-old. That is not a 26-year-old. And even in his other booking shots, like he doesn't, and we do know he was like, okay, so he's supposed to be 26 right here? I think he was using somebody else's identity. Is this him too, once he gets older? No, those two are the same. There he is again. Not him, not him, not him. And there he is again. And this is once he's older. This is like 2 years later. He does look older here. Maybe they have the age wrong? But even here, he doesn't look... He looks like early 20s. Wow. Well, at least we have some visuals. He looks 18 in the one where he got arrested at her house. He's 26 in 2010. And how old is... And so he's 24 in 2008 when he got arrested at her house. According to his court records, he's born 85. The other one, long hair picture, look the same as the bald. They're the same ones. Oh, the older one? You think he's the older ones too? No, this dude is not the same one. He is completely different. His nickname is Payaso. Yeah, no, that's not him. Oh look, his full name is Carlos Ortiz Torres. Look. Right there. Alias Carlos Ortiz Torres. Huh? Now we know his full name. Not that he's the pappy. No, look. Okay, now let me go look. Carlos Ortiz Torres. What if he has more records with that alias? Oh shit, let's go look for Carlos Ortiz Torres. In the court system. Carlos Ortiz Torres. Nothing. Torres. Carlos Ortiz. Okay, what about Carlos Torres? Okay, I'm searching for him under Carlos Torres to see if he has maybe other records that... What did we say was his date of birth? 1985? I don't see nothing. Oh, wait. Here's a 12/13/1985, awfully close for a Carlos Torres. Miller Justice. Could be him, and they just have the day off, 1 day off. It's just traffic, though. He may have an additional court record for just a traffic citation under Carlos Torres, but I don't see anything else that would stick out to me. And this was oh wait, this was in 08. Around the time, in June of 08. Wait, that was after he went AWOL from Candice. Let me see if this is him. It's just a speeding ticket. He called in payment and made a payment. Date of birth, December 13, 1985. I think this could be him. East Millard. What was his address? I want his address. He moved. Paris, California. Maybe he came back and went to Cali instead of back to Utah where Crazy Candice was. Oh, that was a lot of research for one day, besties. All right. Jesus, that was a lot. That was a lot of emotions. That was a whole fucking roller coaster. How does Candice get any fucking schoolwork? How did she get a degree with all those men's? I don't know. I think the big discovery here, Candice, we need a story time. She's never gonna give a story time on this. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I honestly, I really think I'm right, you guys. I really think I'm right. Doctorate and being a player, she got no play hate degree. This shit was crazy. How you feeling? Okay, what are your thoughts before we wrap up? I do have to get going. I gotta I gotta cram in a little study sesh. That was wild. All right, well now we have something to wait on next week. You know, when I submitted for the PO records, I really did not expect any. The most I expected was to be able to put in a timeline that she had another boyfriend. I'm even gonna have to update the thumbnail. Candice gets ex-boyfriend deported before it's something. Today drained me. Oh my gosh, yes. She's an overachiever. I was not expecting this today at all either. At all. I swear, like, I was just curious. I was like, who is this dude? And where does he fall in the timeline? You know, it just felt random to find that PO. Hello from Annie GRC, the face of deportation. Las vueltitas semis being the deported. I really would not have seen this. And you know what? We almost missed this too. We almost missed this. Remember when the bestie logged in before I did and she was like, I don't see anything, just a forgery and a DUI. And I was like, yeah, I want to get in there. Just look at the dates. We almost missed it. This isn't something you would... I don't think she thought this would ever come up. Because it wouldn't unless you deep dove into it like this. Unless you have both documents to compare. Like, we almost missed this. And this is huge. This is huge because it shows a pattern. It's too much of a coincidence that two almost exact cases with two undocumented men Like, did she purposely try to find undocumented men? Like, how the hell did she end up with 2 undocumented men and they both ended up deported at the root of her? Can you believe this? Like, that's not even me speculating. These 2 men, and maybe they were partly responsible for their own actions, okay? But 2 men ended up deported to Mexico because of Candice reporting them to the authorities for one thing or another. That's not a coincidence. I'm sorry. With Fidel, I try to, yeah, okay, DV for sure. We listened to the 911 call. I think we might even publicize the 911 call. When I get the next 911 call, if we get one, again, we don't know what there is, what records they have for this. We don't know if they have the 911 call. Okay. We don't even know if she's the one that called the police with Carlos's arrest. Deported.
Admiana alone sent $1.99 cheese Maybucks. She wants to be part of the struggle so bad. Smiley face emoji. Smiley face emoji.
Who said deporter in chief? Oh my gosh. You wait with that one. It's not no fucking coincidence. These 2 men ended up deported because of something that happened between them and Candice. Is it a coincidence she ended up... Where did she meet these men? She's not in a social circle. She had never came across people like this. Where is she meeting these men? In her apartment complexes? It's giving she meets them in her apartment complexes. She said she lived with Carlos. Bitch, when? How? Why? Where? What attracted her to these men? She grew up in a completely different realm, full of white people, right-wing ideologists. Like, what? Where? How did she end up with people like Carlos and Fidel, undocumented, that both ended up deported because she called the cops on them? She worked at Dick's Sporting Goods in downtown Salt Lake. So, I mean, it's not like, I'm sorry, but what are they going to be doing at Dick's Sporting Goods? Dick's Sporting Goods is like for rich white daddies that are going to go fishing and four-wheeling and boating. What the fuck is Fidel and Carlos going to be doing at Dick's Sporting Goods? Where did she find these men and why did she find them? Yes, Bessie, that's him. Oh. It's the same nose. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Juan Carlos Torres Ortiz. It kind of looks like him, but it's hard to say. Bessie thinks she found him on Facebook. It could be, but I can't be for sure, honestly. I think we need more pictures of him when he was younger. Add him, Bestie. See if you can add him. She's in the area where she lived. Yeah, I mean, the area, the south side. I mean, but she lived in a lot of like low-income apartment complexes. But what would attract? Like, I'm just genuinely curious. What attracted her to these men? Some of them she couldn't even communicate with. We know Carlos. I'm really curious about that police report because he spoke English. Or what if he didn't? No, he did, because in his plea agreement, it would have said if he didn't. Was she disowned by her family? Well, she will live in the same complex, but I saw somewhere she worked at a check cashing place. I don't know where. The only place we confirmed her working is at Dick's Sporting Goods. I don't know. We might not ever crack that part of the case. This is so crazy to me. If I'm right, and these... And these two cases end up the same. And she set these men up to be deported. And then she fucking moves here and starts writing The Struggle. She was also doing social... I don't know. I'm just fucking... I think I'm right, you guys. I could have never suspected that this series would bring us here. I would have never seen this shit coming. Fuck, I'm good. Fuck, I'm good. I can't believe she deported 2 people. I think we should be careful with verbiage, but she has aided in deporting 2 people. Yes, she has. She has aided in 2 separate deportations, back to back, both out of dating scenarios. Does Fidel know about that? That needs to be a Netflix documentary. When I was an apartment manager, the girls would tell me they would do tricks for money and gifts from Mexican men. Aided is good wording. Yeah, because we can't say she deported them, because if Fidel did commit acts of domestic violence, then the state deported him, right? But she aided. She aided by reporting him to authorities. She aided by providing witness statements. She aided by providing victim impact statements ahead of a sentencing. She aided by involving the authorities. And then with Carlos, same. If she set him up to be arrested for, you know, having a fake social security card on him, and his charges don't match what she says happened on her request for a protective order. And it would make sense why he went to her apartment after he bailed out of jail. He went to reclamarle what he did, or what she did to him. And she got scared. And waits a few weeks and files a protective order. Her history is crazy. Crazy. Was it confirmed that she lived in public housing? No, but it was confirmed that she was receiving welfare. Did you find out all this? Don't ask me. Rewatch the replay today. I think it's time to wrap up, you guys. There's a lot to unpack here. There's so much to unpack here. This gives a different perspective to her podcast she was going to launch with Carlos and Rafa. Doesn't it? Doesn't it hit a little different now as we're backtracking to her history with these collabs and these friendships and all the content she's made and the creators that she reaches out to? Mm-hmm. And the interview that she made with the radio station said she worked at a restaurant. Okay. Dick's Sporting Goods sells soccer stuff. And she met both men at Dick's Sporting Goods. That would be so awkward, yeah. So she's always had a thing. She's always been a little... It seems like she has a history of infidelity. Emphasis on Fidel. Infidelity. She has a weird fixation on Mexican. I mean, she has a type. But she doesn't just go for Mexican men. They're always undocumented. Why didn't she ever date a regular Mexican man? Why didn't you ever see her dating a Mexican man she met in school? I'm sure there was Mexican men attending college with her, working with her. They're always undocumented. Her type is undocumented Mexican men. Why? Why undocumented? Like, okay, cool, you have a type, I have a type too. I love me some Mexican men too. But all of them being undocumented? She never dated a Mexican man in a good place that had his shit together. They're out there. Maybe she was trying to maybe the reason why they dated her was for papers to begin with, and maybe that's what she uses as a way to lure them in. Like, oh, I got papers, baby, won't you come my way for these papers, right? Because let's be honest, a girl like Candice don't have no game. She doesn't. I'm sorry. She came from a small town. Like, how would you even link with Mexican men like that? I know for sure they weren't throwing game at her. Fidel said himself, like, I'd never dated a white girl, but I just said, okay, fuck it, let's see where it goes. I don't think she was their type, if I'm being honest. They weren't looking for no Miss Bell Bottoms, is what I'm gonna tell you. Hear me out, they're the only ones that paid her attention like them and that whistle just anybody when they walk by. Yes. Maybe that's what Carlos meant by she owes him. Well, he said she owed him money. But yeah, I think Fabi might be onto something, because one thing about Mexican men son muy chiflados, especially up there, right? And they move different than white men. So yeah, maybe they showed her a little attention and she thought, oh my gosh, you know, but they do that to all women. Has she responded to any of this? No, she's not going to. You think she's gonna respond to this shit? I would be hiding under my covers. I would not come back out. I would ghost. I would ghost. Girl, that's my story. I'm gonna go, guys. This was crazy. I did not think we were gonna do this today. I gotta study. Done. Out. And I gotta pay for insurance. Segundo, I was about to log off to pay for insurance and take a little nappy nap so I could wake up and do a late study session. Now look at me. Now look what you did. Wham! I mean, and we know the Candice fans will get on here. The Candy Cult will say, that was so long ago. Why does it matter? I don't know. It just matters to me that she helped deport 2 men and now she's playing the face of deportation. All right, besties. Any last questions, comments? This was crazy. Shout out to all the besties that helped out with the research fees. So I did request an expedited turnaround time. I don't know if they'll grant it, but the GRAMA request that I sent in for the police report, I did expedite it. Hoping to hear back by next week, and who knows what records they will have, who knows how much it will be. I'm hoping at the very least we'll get a police report. I'm confident at least the police report exists. And then who knows what else. We'd be lucky to get a 911 call. Why did Carlos get deported? Because of Candice. You're gonna have to replay. You're gonna have to replay. Replay this 4-hour session. I need to look at Jack Smith comment. No veo. Super chat it to me. He comes up as Edgar Hernandez. Who? Oh, do reverse Google image? What do you mean? Now Now look at us. Now look what you did. Now we're never gonna fucking finish. Hold on, guys. Let me finish paying my kids' insurance, and then I'll do the reverse Google image. Oh, you emailed it to me. Thank you. What? What? This is crazy. Hold on. How do we verify this? Do we have the what? 2 seconds, guys. Sorry, I gotta pay this. This is crazy. Bessie that just emailed this to me. Can you send me the link to the KSL article? Edgar Hernandez on March 8, 28, 2016. See, this is why mugshots.com is not a reliable source. That's why I'm glad that we still sent in the request for the booking sheet from the police department. Hold on, guys. I need to process this payment. Did it process? Hold on, chat. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Carlos comes up as Edgar and Hernandez. But is that verifiable? Hold on, I'm gonna... Hold on, because if this is true, no justice for him. If this is true. The man in the image is Edgar Hernandez, a 27-year-old resident. It would make sense why he didn't look that age. Why he didn't look 26 in the mugshot from when he got arrested at Candice's in 2008. And in 2016, this reverse Google image. Command Shift 4. All right, let me do the reverse lookup. All right, here goes nothing. About this image? It didn't find any results for me. It didn't pull anything up for me. But see, I don't know what you found there. I don't know who that is, honestly. Maybe that's his, yeah, I do think he could have been using a second identity. Bestie, can you send me the link to that KSL article that the reverse Google image pulled for you? Meanwhile, I'm still trying to figure out. Someone check if Carlos follows Candice on social media. Which Carlos? Great idea, Favela. 2 seconds, guys. I'm trying to... I gotta pay this insurance today before... She can afford to pay Carlos what she owes him. I think before we jump too far ahead, we've always given her the benefit of the doubt. I've always had speculations, but I do feel like we've been pretty graceful. Like, let's wait. Maybe he also deserved to be deported. There's a possibility. Maybe she just dates toxic men. You know, so let's wait for the report before we jump to crazy conclusions. And let's stick to verifiable information, right? What we're finding in court records. I don't like to rely on sites like mugshots.com. I also don't think the reverse image lookup you know, I'm able to. Okay, thank you. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds, because I do need to complete this. Let me check it on this one. Okay. Okay, cool. We got our insurance done. Sorry, guys. I know I had to take quick. I had to get that done. Otherwise, se me va a ir el avión. I'm not gonna do it on time. It's important I get all these paperwork done already and printed. Okay. Said he emailed it to me. Alright, I'm done. She can start her channel. Maybe she found them at the laundromat. Social media dating apps weren't that big back then, in my opinion. Okay, I gotta hurry. Let me check this email que me enviaron of the reverse image lookup. Okay. I don't say anything. Yeah, nothing, bestie. Okay, so let's summarize real quick because I do gotta run. I met my man on social media dating in '09, still going strong. The app doesn't even exist anymore. Congrats, bestie. I'm tired. I'm actually quite tired. And I need to study. I submitted a GRAMA request for the police reports. Okay, let me try to summarize this up. This was a crazy live. Today I received the court records for her protective order on Carlos Ortiz, which was just another character that was kind of lingering through her records. And that sent us in an entirely different web of unraveling, another web unraveled with those files. We concluded that man was arrested at her house, and at the root of that arrest was eventually deported. She filed for that protective order around the events of that arrest. We have suspicions that she set him up and that she aided in his deportation the same way that she aided in Fidel's deportation. And we've kind of seen the pattern of the way that she possibly weaponizes statuses and uses them to her advantage in the men that she dates. So it's quite crazy to see her now representing deportation stories when, she has this history of when she lived in the U.S., she was very much not an ally. And I don't think she's an ally now. Oh, this is not him, bestie. JG. This is a completely different person. That does not look... Yeah, I don't think that's him. So again, I'm going to base myself off of what I found through public records. It's hard to rely on third-party sites like that, AI, reverse Google image. I like to rely on public records and the things that I can verify and compile that, yes, this ties to here, this ties to here. Kind of what we did today with her request for protective order and then tying it back to those criminal charges with his date of birth, all of that. Okay. So, I've submitted a GRAMA request for those records. It is possible she might try to intervene again. But, what the fuck? Why did you print so many? I didn't need all this. Oh. And you didn't even print me the fucking insurance cards. Great. The charges that we submitted a record request for, he was ultimately charged with possession of forgery documents. He was in possession of a social security card that was forged. So, let's see. I only need page 4. Page 4. Sorry guys, I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to get all this shit printed. 1 to 7. Page 1 to 7 is what we're gonna print. I need 2 screens, y'all. I need 2 screens. I can see her emailing, manipulating Fidel. Yeah. I do think there's a reason why she dates these men. Why she chose to date these men. Absolutely. So I'm hoping we'll likely hear back from the police from the GRAMA request that we submitted next week. And who knows what records they'll have available, because this case was all the way in 2008, which is damn near 18 years ago. We did good work today, team. I think the police report will give us some context because unlike Fidel, Carlos did speak English. So I'm curious what he report, like why they arrested him, where did the social security card come from, why were they called, what was reported, and ultimately why did they charge him with what they charged him with and what like. So, as always, thank you guys for supporting the research. Those of you that sent in gifts, Venmos, tipping. Let me check the tipping. Let me check the tipping line. Let's see what we closed with today. I'm tired, y'all. Okay, Erica R has taken over the top tipper. Real quick, let me move this. Okay, our top tipper is officially Erica. Huge shout out to her and all of you guys that donated through the tip line, through Venmo, through Zelle, and also through Super Chats. I'm going to take a long week off, a long weekend. Wait. Oh, no, today's Friday. Why did I think today was Thursday? Have you done a complete background search on Candice? Yes. And we're still doing it. This is part of it. We're not done. Candice's background check is crazy. No, she doesn't have any criminal charges, but she has a lot of questionable shit like this. Here. Seguras Atlas comprobante de pago. Bestie, I think I Venmo the wrong Annie Garcia. Oh no, Bestie. My Venmo is Annie GRC. I hope you didn't. What other Annie GRC has my same Venmo? Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay tuned. I'll check in with you guys on Monday and try to regroup from all of this. I will have this live available for public replay. Or I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. Yeah, no. We'll have this live available for public replay. I found a Carlos Ortiz in a fraud ring. Hey, whatever research you can find, just make sure it's credible and you verified it before you drop it into my email, so we don't waste too much time backtracking or looking at things that are you know, we don't have verification for. Okay. So thank you so much for helping. We will pick up on Monday. Alma, you're still here. Welcome to the shit show. Yeah. We'll pick up on Monday. We'll see where we're at. Take some time to digest the information. And we'll be back here soon. We'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Bye, besties.